just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time. I came from Philly, then I moved to Harrisburg. Spent time in Cali, blowing on the rarest herb. Made some bread, was a manager then. Good at dealing with people, couldn't handle a pen. Money had me scrambling like Randall back then. Ups and downs with my chick, hard to handle it, man. What's the dough really mean without family and love? Still go for your dreams, but put family above all the shallow shit. People try to take you off your path, you don't allow that shit. Stop wanting love from those that don't know you. Appreciate your folks that seen what you go through. Why would I stop? I don't even know how. Papa Zan, that's the only way I'll slow down. I could entertain y'all, but I'm no clown. Puff and puff on that L till it blows down. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. Just living my life, just living my life.
Hey everyone, Anthony with Interviews with Everyday People. I'm here with pretty much the entire shop of Abaddon Studio, minus one guy who's back there, John. But he has a big project tomorrow, so he's working. But we love you.
What's that guy's name?
It's top secret.
Topless secret.
Topless secret. Oh, so you did there. But yeah, so thank you guys for having me. It's my first time. My wife's 15th. She's always here. Like I still can't believe I'm in the same building that my mother-in-law was tattooed in. That's
oh really?
Yeah,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, her first ever tattoo was done by you guys. They all came up. Her and her brother, who is like. Watching him grow up, because me and Heidi have a relationship with our younger brothers. We're 11 years apart, so it's kind of like when we started dating, we watched like these young kids grow up, and now they're like adults. And this kid couldn't like get rug burn without going to the ER or emergency care, and then he gets like tattoos. I love him to death, but he knows. But yeah, he got tattooed here. My mother-in-law, and then Heidi, and then she just got another one today by you. Got some cool bats and a moon. Shop was busy today. You were.
Oh yeah, we were.
Everyone was tattooing. You were poking people left and right. Stabbing people. It was fun. I seen a gumball tattoo. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
So they have this thing here at Abaddon where you can walk in for $100. You get to open up you do a quarter in a gumball machine, and whatever you get, you get. And kid got like a skull with a doobie.
Yeah, it was like a skull wearing a sombrero, smoking a cig.
Smoke a cig.
Yeah.
You might have to come in a little bit.
Could have been a doobie.
Could have been whatever his imagination.
We put a filter on it though.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, he was.
It was
smoking
a healthy
cigarette.
joint.
He was smoking a cigarette. Yeah. It was filtered.
Yeah.
Now, how do you? Does it like? Is there initials on each piece of art of who did each like gumball art?
Nah, it's just the whole shop. Anyone that does it.
Okay, that's fun. So
whoever's available to do it does it.
Yeah.
Awesome. I like it.
Yeah, that's new. We actually just unveiled that. Earlier this week?
Yeah, so that was the first one we've done today.
Here.
Yeah.
That
was the first one.
we gave them on the couch. They're a little lower. We had to give them seats to.
Yeah, it's kind
of. So now
it's like a little.
He was way down here before, and we moved him up. Yeah. So how long has the shop been going here?
So this month is our 10th year.
Wow.
Actually, me and Tom opened a studio up. We were maybe 2 blocks up originally, and then we moved down here about 3 years ago.
Okay. So this location's been here for 10 years.
This location is 3 years, but the studio is 10 years. So 3 years ago, we moved to this building.
Okay. Where were you previously?
Right up the street. You saw there was a movie theater up there. We're like a block down from that.
Okay. Yeah, I was really shocked, man. Pine Grove has a lot of cool stuff. Like,
yeah,
I've
man.
never really been up this way.
It's like a cultural hub.
Yeah, like there's a movie theater. There's like a lot of cool stuff, man. Like,
yeah, no, I love it here, man. It's cool.
I know I like our side because like School County is kind of divided by the mountains. Like, oh, that side of the mountain, that side of the mountain. So like, I never really made it. Like, I just recently started being in the Pottsville crowd like 5 years ago. So Pine Grove never was on my radar. I'm like 15 and 20 minutes away from this place, and I've never been here ever.
Yeah, it's strange how there is that divide.
Yeah, everyone kind of stays on their side of the mountain. It's kind of insane. It's stupid if you think about it, but yeah.
What side of the mountain are you from?
I'm the north side of the mountain. I'm like the one that like on the side of the mountain that no one likes. They're like, oh, the Monty City Shenandoah kids get like stay on your side. Yeah, like, oh.
I'm just joking. I'm not from here.
Where originally are you guys all from?
I'm originally from Pine Grove, so this
Okay.
is my hometown. You guys, I don't know.
I'm from St. Clair.
St. Clair? Tremont?
California.
Okay.
California.
Now, did you guys know each other? And then
Yeah, we did.
Brought him a bar.
Yeah. Yeah, we both played in punk rock bands in Sacramento.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now you,
It's actually a really wild story. Like, we were both friends before he ever came here, but I've been coming here like not as not in a tattoo capacity, but like my parents moved here like 20 years ago or something like that. So
Nice.
Yeah, there's a really weird Pine Grove Sacramento connection.
yeah.
So I did my apprenticeship in Sacramento, California, which is where these guys are from. But I didn't know them when I did my apprenticeship out there. I actually met Tom in Japan,
wow.
and then he came out to apprentice. So, and then Chuck had been coming out here his whole life because his grandparents had a camp out here.
Okay.
In Pine Grove. So, but I still never knew him before.
But we learned that because Watson went into O'Neill's pub up here one night and saw a woman sitting wearing a Whiskey Rebels t-shirt, which is the band that Chuck used to sing for. And so Watson approached her and said, "Oh, hey, that shirt you're wearing, my friend sings for that band." And she goes, "Oh yeah, that's my son." So it was just kind of odd. Like, why are you here?
Yeah, no, I was like,
"Oh, we live here."
Actually, I said, "Oh, I know the singer, Big Chuck." She's like, "Well, Charles is my son." She like,
Charles.
she said like that. So
It is awesome how music kind of does that. Like when we went out to Vegas, we were on the strip, and I was wearing my Crowbot shirt, and the guy comes running up to me and goes, "Crowbot," and I was like, "Yeah." He's like, and I think he was from Texas, and I guess because from you guys being out there for a while, that's where it kind of he was span for him. So like, met in Vegas. Ranting and I had like a Yingling shirt on the one day too, and people were like, "Yingling beard." I was like, "How do you know?" But like, yeah, it's weird how like bands and music and just wearing a simple T-shirt can just start a conversation.
absolutely.
So you guys met in Japan. So we were talking a little bit before while you were tattooing, how you've been everywhere. Like you kind of branched out and explored.
Yeah, I think almost everybody here has done a lot of international traveling. It just kind of comes part with tattooing or music scene or it is one of the benefits. But yeah, I met Tom in Japan. So he was in a band called Fuck the Forest, which was my friend Eric's band, and Eric just invited me to come out and hang out, and
It's hard to get on the radio with that one.
yeah.
Screw the forest.
Screw it.
That damn forest.
So but yeah, no, it's I've gone out a couple more times since then, and
Yes.
yeah.
And
Now-
I knew Eric too. He was like my neighbor back
Yeah.
in the day. I think I knew him before you even.
Yeah.
Now,
Sure.
has everyone here always been like super artistic, or is it something that started very early or later in life?
I've been doing it since I was a child.
Yeah, me here. Same here. I mean, now tattooing's what sort of made that bigger, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing art since a
For
child.
me, graffiti was what made it bigger, and then I expanded that into tattooing to a certain degree, I guess. I don't
Nice.
know.
I drew as a little kid, but always played music. And then, just through music. Like, music brought me to skateboarding and punk rock, and then through that, brought me to tattooing. And then eventually just kind of relearning to draw specifically for tattoos.
Yeah, that scene definitely has a style like that. Especially you're in Cali growing up, it has that like the skateboarder punk rock, like the rocker feel. Like
Yeah, for sure.
The magazine. What was the magazine that like during the CBG movie? That was like the big magazine at that time.
Thrasher?
Thrasher
magazine?
And like people used to do like the editorial where they would draw on the envelopes and write them in. Like there was that style of art that kind of always carried through. Like I always been attracted to that style of art. And on top of that, like the American traditional, which is I think very heavily in this shop, right? Like
Yeah, I mean, we do everything, but like I think very specifically we have an appreciation of that.
yeah.
I mean, that's where we all came from, at least, tattooing. Who was talking?
I think, I think there's like a certain, like, I don't know if it's an age group, but there's a certain like era where like people that do tattoo that kind of grew up in that certain time era, like it was skateboarding and punk rock.
Yeah.
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 I don't know if it's still that way anymore as much, but for sure, like everyone that I know that's in my general age vicinity, like they're all into punk rock and skateboarding at some point,
Now with the art scene and the way you guys do the fun thing that I like about this shop, especially just the people in general. Obviously, the people here are all phenomenal. You guys are all awesome. I know you used to a little more personally than everyone else, but we're getting there. But it's such a welcoming shop. Like every time the door opens, someone's like quick, like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, and that we were talking earlier. That's like something that could be a make or break for a tattoo shop. Like if people come in, like, "Yeah, what?" Like, obviously that can flick the switch right there. Like, but you guys are very good at, you're very personable. Everyone's art style here is phenomenal. Like, it's the type of shop that you could walk in and be like, I don't care who's tattooing me. Everyone here is super talented. Like, I've been in shops before where it's just like, nah, I'm gonna pass. If I can't get this person, I'll come back another day. I don't see that at this shop because you're getting quality work from everybody. It's just everyone has a cool style, and everyone has a style, but you can also mix your style up, but it still stays your style of art. Like when I see, like watching her, like following her social media and watching her art, I can see her like a drawing, and if I don't see immediately who it is, I'm like, oh, that looks like Akira drawing, and then I'm like, oh, it is, you know what I mean? So like everyone's art stands out, but it's good. Like everyone has amazing art at the shop.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, the crew here is great. You know, I mean, everybody. You know, I think it's like we grow off each other, we learn off each other.
That's cool too. Like how it's not like it's never too late to learn something new. You're always like bouncing stuff off each other and growing and stuff like that. It's fun.
Yeah, you know, I mean, nobody has the style ego here that like they don't learn off each other. Mm-hmm. Like everybody's, I don't know, that's constant. You know, just constantly learning from each other is good. You know, like we're doing like some collaborative artwork. You know, like we'll have paint nights and. Mm-hmm. You know, stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I can only cartoon. That's about
that's okay.
The limitation of my art skills. Like if you're like, draw this really cool, realistic person, I'm like, nope, their eyes are going to be here and here. Their head's going to be this big. Their body will be this. I'm just not good with like body. Like, but if I'm like, here, draw SpongeBob, I'll kill it every time.
Really?
Yeah.
You could be booked out for like 3 years, dude.
Really?
Oh yeah, man, he's hot right now.
But
do we have paper here? Show us.
But like, but like, I can't color. Like I would just be like, here, I'll do the line work and then you guys shade.
Like, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, well, like I would have to have like half and half. Now, when it comes to tattooing, like obviously putting it on paper and putting it on skin are two different canvases and platforms. How do you transition into that? And I know there's like the rumor that you can buy like pig skin and practice on. Is that like a real thing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is.
What did you say?
You know, I mean,
pig skin or fake skin?
Pig. Like,
I mean,
guess
I've heard
like,
people do that too. I don't know. I mean,
You can do that, yeah.
I always thought you kind of get bad habits by tattooing, like fake skin and stuff like that. You know, I mean, it's a very specific craft. It's once you know how to tattoo, you could take anything and then tattoo it.
Yeah,
I guess for the most part, like.
What'd you learn on?
Just myself.
You start tattooing on yourself?
Yeah, I mean,
I had like grapefruits and oranges and shit.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I think
What do you have, Tom?
Honeydews.
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 Yeah, no, I mean, during my apprenticeship, I had
Chop
to.
it?
That picks up, yeah. Sorry about that.
Don't tap it.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Like fruit, I guess, has that texture as well.
Yeah, a little bit.
What's that?
I used an orange.
An orange?
I feel like it didn't help that. I mean, it helps to figure out how to hold your machine, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta get a little bit in there.
Was it an orange or an orange?
It was an orange.
Oh, okay.
An orange.
Orange.
Briefly, we have a beer gopher here. Listen, I can't say his name. If you
Top secret.
because of legal reasons, if you say his name on the air,
He's like Beetlejuice.
you'll have to pay royalties to a record label.
Yeah.
Do you have the pixel thing so you can pick
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that
You mean
good.
like in Japanese porn?
Does anyone
like
else
that
need
type
one?
of thing?
Thank you, buddy.
I'm
Are
okay.
you not drinking still?
I'm still not drinking now.
Oh, look at you.
Are you doing like a sober?
No, I've been doing a bunch of these like mindfulness, mental challenges, and I've just been not drinking for a little bit.
I did like 90 days solid of no booze, no sugary drinks, iced tea, and then I bounced back hard.
Right. See, I've been good with it. I did 75 days. And then I took like a little bit of a break, and then I did like another 30 days.
I get the beer burps too. Mine's coming. I have one.
It doesn't come through the earphones, right?
No.
Okay.
So, but yeah, no, it's been huge, you know.
Yeah.
Don't. Hey, listen. He's talking.
Oh no.
I'm just making faces. I'm not doing anything.
What you're doing is far more interesting than me not drinking.
Mindfulness.
No, please live in the moment. Tell us about mindfulness.
No, it's okay.
Come
No,
on.
That's actually vodka.
this is actually vodka.
Vodka.
Powering through those waters.
It's a gallon a day.
It's Pine Grove moonshine.
Yeah, 100%.
They make it at Turkey Hill up the street.
Now, when it comes to art, I know you guys do conventions, and I did see some. I guess maybe they're your like magazines, like some magazine covers in there. Here's my beer burp. What are some accomplishments you guys done so far as tattoo artists when it comes to like maybe recognition or getting work put on certain platforms and stuff?
I made a really nice tattoo today. I was proud of myself.
The gumball one?
Yeah,
I thought it was cool.
I mean, Chuck just did we did a convention in New Zealand last year. That was a lot of fun. Oh, I guess it was January. So it's technically
This year.
This year, technically, yeah.
Yeah.
So we did a convention in New Zealand. I had an art show in Tokyo. I mean, we're always doing stuff. I mean, with with these guys with
just
music
whatever.
or art. Yeah, we're just continuously busy. Doing guest spots here and there. Stay active.
I was
Biggest
doing guest
accomplishment.
spots like art shows before I was even tattooing, like I would be in, art shows here and then,
Like doing canvas stuff?
canvases, yeah, or once I became a tattoo artist and I did more watercolor stuff, I've been in maybe a couple shows that just showcase flash art, basically.
Okay, cool.
That's like, flash is like the designs that we draw on paper to try and sell people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm starting to try to educate myself more on just art in general. Like when we try to go out somewhere, like we went to Pittsburgh, I tried to go to like the I forget his name. So the
Warhol Museum?
Warhol, yeah, we did the Warhol one. That was really cool, but it got really strange towards the upper floors.
You're a strange guy.
Yeah, man.
It's kind of that.
Like we were in this one room, and it was like a whole orgy thing going on. Like,
Yeah,
Like a picture of one?
no, it was like a video he took.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say that wasn't going on when I was there.
Yeah, it was like a
Missed
whole.
out.
It was like a room, and it had like each room had like the whole room had like projections going and like videos, and then he taxidermied his one dog, and it was.
Oh yeah, that was kind of weird.
What? That's
And it's in the orgy?
not. That'd be awesome. It was. Girl comes rolling in on a stuffed dog.
Sounds degenerate.
I'd laugh at it. I'm also a degenerate. But yeah, we did that one. A few other ones we've
What?
went to.
We can't sit across from you.
Come on.
I seen Dolly's art.
Oh yeah.
That was in Philly. It was like a traveling thing.
Dolly Parton.
Yes. Yeah. No. Am I saying his name wrong?
No, it's Albert Dolly. You're right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought I maybe said it wrong, and he was.
No.
The melty Dolly.
Yes. Like the Pink Floyd style.
The drippy stuff? Yeah.
We don't talk about Pink Floyd here.
No.
Oh, Tom, we just had this long discussion from Tom
We're not going to bring that up.
about how Pink Floyd. Okay,
No.
don't bring it up. Okay.
Don't even say it.
He has just this
You should go to the
I will leave
Presented
right
Museum.
now, Watson.
Which one?
Okay, no Pink Floyd. I'm
Presented
sorry.
Museum.
Okay, I'll say it.
It's in, where's that?
Oh, God.
East Stroudsburg? Presented
Never mind. We're on to the
yeah.
next thing now.
You should go to that. It's pretty close and it's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, check that out.
What is it, Kira?
The Presented Museum.
Oh, hell yeah. That would be tight.
Awesome.
The guy who runs it's really nice, man. Did he give you like a little private tour and everything?
Yeah, his grandson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's just like in his house, right?
No, it's
It's
actually
like-
just weird.
On their property. Yeah, it's like a weird little
Oh.
thing they built.
Neat.
And like all his big ass awesome paintings are in there.
Yeah, they opened it up like for us. I don't know, they weren't open
Oh, yeah,
that
they did
day,
it
and I'm
for
like
us,
standing
too.
outside. I'm like, fuck, it's supposed to be open. And the guy
Yeah.
came out and he's like, oh, we weren't going to open today, but
Yeah. We were the only people in there when we went.
That kind of happened with me with the Muhammad Ali Museum, where I kind of messaged the guys like, "Is it possible to come in and just kind of see everything?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll be here. Come on over." And we were able to walk around and see like Muhammad Ali's whole training camp. If you've never done that,
is that here? The one in Schuylkill County?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't done
Deer-
that.
Deer Lake, right?
much- yeah, it's in Deer Lake.
Did
It's
they
so cool.
Just recently open it up to the public like that?
It took a little break, and then
Okay.
it's back open again. I guess John Madden's son bought the grounds.
I
Okay.
heard that. Yeah.
What is that?
Tom.
I don't know what that
I don't
is.
know what that
Although
was.
I just realized our walk-in sign is still outside, so
Oh.
I have to go get that then.
What is that?
That is creepy.
I don't know, but I don't do that.
And this is how we die.
What is that noise?
Truck?
What was that?
That was
I think it was
outside.
that truck.
Have the truck making that noise?
I think so. I don't know. It's creepy. as
Someone
shit, though.
was goofing off in
Are
their
we in a
vehicle or
horror movie?
whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Are we gonna harm?
Oh, that was really weird.
You opened it way too quick, man.
Let's see what that noise is.
Chuck's not scared.
I ain't not scared.
That's how every movie The Stranger started. There's some weird noise outside.
Now, you ever notice, like, now that people have the Bluetooth and shit, like, you can hear that, like, if they're playing really loud music, you can then hear like a phone conversation just as loud as the music when they're driving by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those situations.
I think you're right.
Maybe.
Yeah,
It was a really weird laugh.
Yeah, it was a creepy.
They
one.
were looking at us, those people in that truck.
Were they?
Yeah.
Mm.
They're
Kind
gonna
of like
kill us.
pooped their head up.
Well, I'm glad they did, because if not, our walking sign would still be out there for like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Oops.
We had her run around
You
like
gotta
crazy.
go get it?
I'm not getting it right now. I'll get it then.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
right.
Remember when Amber left it out the other night? Do you remember that, Tom?
You told me to leave it out.
Who told you that?
Overnight.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
So it's Tom's fault, basically, is what you're saying.
He told me to leave it out.
No, we brought it in.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, they brought it out.
Actually, we texted Amber to ask her if she was coming back to bring it inside.
They did, and I told them no. I was like, no. Just bring it in.
So, meeting in Japan, how did that? What's that like? How did that bromance start?
Oh, I mean, that was my first time to Japan. I think you were there before, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was cool, going to punk shows and all
In Japan?
Oh, yeah, all the punk
Yeah,
shows
so-
are in these little live houses.
The band that I was playing in at the time, we were going over there to play some shows, and I think he mentioned one of my friends that I played in the band with. He was already friends with him, and so we were going over there. We had some dates set, and then my friend Eric called Watson and was like, "Hey, dude, like, you live in a small town and you're a tattooer. You probably have a ton of money. Why don't you fly to Japan and come hang out with us while we're touring over there?" And he's
I don't know if he worded it quite like
and
that.
he was
but-
like, and Watson was like, had you been out of the country yet?
oh, yeah, man. I was in
Oh, had
Germany,
you?
Switzerland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. I've been all over.
I didn't. Schnecky hadn't.
Schnecky. Oh, yeah.
Schnecky hadn't
I took
even
one of my buddies.
Yeah, Schnecky.
Yeah, Schnecky went. Dude, he loved it,
Like
man.
Schnecky-
He's like way into Godzilla, Japanese wrestling, so, it was good.
Yeah, I would love all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we were over there playing some shows, and then this guy and some other local yokel showed up and hung out with us and partied it up.
Oh, yeah, man. It was
So it was cool.
What is a punk rock show in Japan look like?
Dude, shows in Japan are awesome, man. The people over there.
Like they eat up American culture. They love
well,
it.
they're
They
like-
like it.
Yeah, but I mean, they have their own. Like in Japan, when they're into something, they're into it.
Mm-hmm.
So like the dudes that play music over there, they're all about it, and the people that go to shows are way more into it. Most of the clubs are like in basements. They're like underground. But
Like
it's
a
just
punk rock,
it's just
like a punk
rad,
show
man.
should be.
It's so fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's really good time.
I would love to go there, except I would come back skinny because I'm a picky eater, and I feel like everything in
Oh,
Japan.
dude,
would-
the food is so good.
No,
man.
there's everything, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be like, find me a McDonald's.
They have
Oh, everywhere, man.
Everywhere,
yeah.
find me a
Yeah,
McDonald's.
unfortunately, McDonald's is like, I think in every country I've been to, there's been a McDonald's except for, I think like Cambodia didn't have McDonald's.
And you went to McDonald's in Germany?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or did you get a Royale with cheese?
No, I didn't. I don't even remember what I got.
That's France.
Oh yeah, good call. Good call. It was France, but it's still the Euro system, right?
Not when I was there, man. I was in Germany a long time ago. It was
Or
pre-Euro.
the metric system. The metric. She's yelling at me because I got the country wrong. We're big Polish.
Yeah, McDonald's everywhere, except for Cambodia.
Mm-hmm.
They're like 3-story McDonald's.
A 3-story McDonald's
Yeah.
in Japan.
Yeah.
Why is that necessary?
I don't know.
Well, everything in Japan kind of goes
Built
up,
up.
rather than out.
Yeah.
In Germany, McDonald's is called McDongles.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Donk.
I prefer McDougal's.
That's in Ireland.
Yeah, that's what they're called in Ireland.
McDougal's.
So, what are some pieces you guys maybe did this? Well, technically, this is going to air next year,
Okay.
but we're going to pretend that it's. I don't know. We're just going to go with it. I already ruined the whole.
So, like, technically,
pulled
we're
back-
time traveling right now.
You
Oh, that's
are.
cool.
Yeah. So, what are some pieces you guys did this year that you're really proud of?
Man,
Or
I
last
mean, it's
year.
kind of hard to do without like a visual. Like,
Do you have anything that sticks out?
I mean, I just did a big goat head that was really cool. Did this like I don't know, woman's face that was like split with like a bird coming out. I mean, again, everything is much cooler when you see it versus when I try to explain
up
it.
to the camera with our phone, like
This one.
Well, you can follow all. I will get all their
Why don't we have our phones out right now?
their social media.
That would be a more accurate
Yeah.
portrayal of us.
Oh, come on.
I will have all their social medias in the links below if you guys want to go follow them on Instagram and go see their art. I like how you guys do the thing where like you have the soapy water over the tattoo and then you wipe it. It's like there it is. I like that. That's cool.
I haven't
did that.
mastered that one yet.
I like to dry wipe all of mine, so that I wasn't doing that.
Yeah. Did
sandpaper.
you ever see the
I
did you
never-
ever see the one where the
I
guy
never
he does
dry
it
wipe.
and he wipes it and it's like the worst tattoo ever. The guy's like it's supposed to be like Angelina Jolie or something like that, and he wipes it. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. What are so I'm just gonna ask I want to ask like tattoo shop questions because I've never been a part of this or what it's like to do this, but like what are some pet peeves as a tattoo artist?
Peas.
Like from clients or each other?
Both. They both make great topics.
There's stuff here.
Yeah, I know. Like, ooh. I don't know, man.
So maybe if you're looking to get a tattoo, you can avoid these.
First of all, that's your one and only question. The next one, you're out.
I'm trying to.
I have one.
Okay.
What's yours?
When clients want something upside down on their arm because it's for them, but when your arm is down, it's going to be upside down.
For the
And they
world.
want to argue
Oh,
about
yeah.
it.
You should
Like a
answer.
word, like if they want faith or whatever, and they want it facing them, when your arm's down, it's going to be upside down, and they argue with you about it.
I like when people get the crosses and they have it so they're like for them it's right,
But it's
then-
satanic.
Yeah, 100%. It's and
The other way.
I like it's a sweet upside down cross. Like that's supposed to be.
It's for me.
Like because you didn't listen to their tattoo artist.
Right. I always ask them like, well, do you worship Satan or like?
Or are you a child of
Because if
God?
that's what you wanted, then fine. You know what I mean? The pet peeves that we should have Kira answer all of them.
Oh, I've
Kira has
infinite,
the
got a
list.
list.
We'll just have Kira list all of them off right now.
infinite pet.
In fact, you brought your list, right? It's in your back pocket.
It's in my phone.
Oh.
Oh, your phone.
Just go bring us a little bit in. Because you are very one.
Start yelling.
Scream a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
And furthermore,
Just get me fired up and I'll get louder.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to,
With some peeves.
yeah, some peeves. How about like when someone comes in with this amazing art from the internet and it has all this crazy detail and they want it this big?
That
Yeah,
is a peeve.
you know, I mean, I think some of that's just, you know.
Well, they just
I
don't
can't.
know.
Yeah, they just don't know, man. I can't.
That's
You know,
not
there's
so bad.
there's certain things you just can't do in tattooing, and even if you did it, it wouldn't look good a year from now or 2 years from
Yeah.
now. You know, 'cause things are gonna, you know, it changes with the body. I don't know. I don't get really like upset about it. I just kind of like, you know, you just have to explain it to them. You know,
Unless they don't want to listen.
you know.
That's when it gets annoying. But at first, they just sort of don't know.
Like for me, my general thing is because I guess I grew up with like family who are cosmetologists as well as family who are also tattoo artists. When it comes to getting a tattoo or a haircut or something, I always say like, I have an idea what I want, but you obviously are more trained than I am, so this is what I kind of want, but I let you rock. Like
there
you
we
know-
go.
That's
Yeah.
the best way.
Instead of listing peeves, let's list like
Positives.
the ideal way that someone comes in to get a tattoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, like I've already gotten tattoos by both you and the anonymous guy over there, and didn't know what I was getting until I showed up, and I was
Yeah.
happy with it because I obviously chose that artist for a reason because I like their style of art. I just kind of gave an idea what I wanted and showed up and like, well, you guys nailed it. That's exactly what I wanted. Like
Right.
that's so. I guess if anything, just really study who you're going to get your work from
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's
and go that route.
I think too, like with social media and how many tattoos are available every day for people to see. I think people just in general are becoming more educated as to like what tattooing is, like different styles, different things. They're learning a little more of the language to walk in here with. You know what I mean? I think more and more people know what they want. Not always, but I think that knowledge is growing.
Yeah.
You know,
Now, here's another. This may be if it's a touchy one, you don't have to answer. But like, you do your art, right? You work hard on your art. You put it out there. You take a picture of your art and put it out there for people to see. Like, hey, I did this tattoo, and then all of a sudden, you see your same art and it's done somewhere else. Maybe not locally, but like
my art sucks, so no one does that.
Well, no, Kira, I
Like,
guess
are
you
you-
actually
Yeah.
experienced this more recently,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I've seen.
Yeah.
I actually seen it happen to you twice, where you did a spreadsheet, like a splash sheet of like I forget what holiday it was, and then your spreadsheet was on somebody else's.
Oh, it was Friday the 13th, but they were like Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone took the
just
actual
reposted
picture,
your page.
my actual picture.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm doing these for a special, and I was like, hey, don't fucking do that. And then he blocked me. And I also messaged his shop, and I was like, hey, your shitty artist is doing this, and he's like, we'll take care of it. So I don't know if he got
And
fired.
then your ice cream jar.
And then that one,
the
yeah,
SpongeBob one.
someone copied it in like, I don't know where it was, maybe Brazil, like somewhere
it was
really.
it was in Bali.
Was it?
Yeah,
it was somewhere
Bali.
really
That's
far
crazy
away.
that even that got like a part of me would be like, what's fucked up? You stole my shit, but then
Right.
also like, holy shit, it made it that far
I
across
know.
the world.
How'd they see
I'd
it
be
in Bali?
angrier.
Was it like on Pinterest or something?
Well, that one sort of went viral, I guess, because it's SpongeBob. But
Yeah.
like that one got crazy on Instagram.
The reality of that, though, is like most of the people that are doing that, like they're not going to do a good job.
No, it
with
was
the tattoo.
bad.
Oh, it
so
was
it
not the
wasn't.
same,
It was
yeah.
more funny to me. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
not-
like if you're going on like and like just stealing people's stuff and then like saying, "Hey,
usually
look, we're
bad.
gonna do this,"
Yeah.
then obviously that's not.
Yeah,
That's
that's,
not
that's
good.
like another thing too. When people are like, oh, "I want to go get a tattoo," I'm like, "Cool, what are you getting?" And they're like, "Oh, I found this off the internet." And I'm like, "You probably shouldn't go in and be like, I want this exact thing," but like, "Well, that's what I want." I'm like, "But that's somebody else's art."
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, now,
we'll usually redraw it.
there are some
Yeah.
things that are specifically made to be reproduced.
Yeah,
Yeah, like there's like classic tattoo flash
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that people tattoo all the time, like every day. It's meant to be tattooed,
Right.
and it's like it's kind of up
Like
to you whether
the heart with
you
the
want to
mom.
redraw it,
Yeah.
breathe some life back into it.
It's
of your
always,
own.
you know what? I think it's good to just put like a little bit of your own flavor on it.
100%.
Put a little bit of your own spin.
Like I have a Jim Lee Joker but it's like completely colored different and by the anonymous guy. But like I said, like you could take like cool stuff like from SpongeBob or different movies, but you definitely like with this shop, I see them all. Everyone does their own flair to it, which is fun. Like I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we like to draw, we like to create art. So like when we have an opportunity to do that on somebody, that's why part of why we do this.
When you guys first start drawing, or even like drawing in your free time, is there something that inspires you that you like to draw from, or like where you pull inspiration from, or like a certain topic, or like I know you do like a lot of Harry Potter and like so you're like into the pop culture stuff with that. Like where does everyone like if you're drawing like you had free time, you're like, oh, I'm gonna draw a little bit. Where do you like when you what do you get your inspiration from? Like what do you go to first?
Tom. I just draw like skulls and Grim Reapers and fucking eagles and shit, lady heads. You know what I mean? Like I don't. I guess it's a very I don't know. It's not like a limited group of things, but it's like you kind of just start there, and sometimes you have an idea in mind, and like you start and then you finish with the thing you had in mind. Other times you just get loose and see what happens. You know what I mean? And like maybe there's a few classic things that you always go to start with. And depending on your mood and whatever you're doing when you're making the art, maybe it goes in a different direction. You know what I mean?
Yes.
No, I mean I think you kind of hit it there with going back to tradition to like use that to inspire you. I mean, music also inspires. There's a lot of times where I'll just put on some music and then sort of zone into it, and like what I make is what I make, or like what I come up with. That happens sometimes. But yeah, I think going back to like the things that came before us, and like in a way, like almost like in an honoring sort of way, like utilizing that as inspiration.
I think the first thing I ever drew was a Ninja Turtle. That was like the
Well,
first.
I used to draw the shit out of those.
Yeah, because
Wasn't
they were.
the first thing, but I drew the shit out of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I like.
Am I the only one who has not drawn a Ninja Turtle?
I haven't either.
Okay, cool.
Really? Do you guys ever like how you're saying you have paint nights and art nights? Do you have nights where like you guys do like projects like that where you pick something and then everyone has to like draw it to see just.
Well, we
That'd
used
be
to
a
do.
good idea.
Yeah.
We used to have it.
Well, I mean, we
Oh,
used to
we
do
did. Yeah,
a
the
project
weekly.
called Abaddon Weekly, which kind of comes back sometimes, and depending on how busy we are, but like we'll take a subject, and
We haven't done one in a while.
we haven't done it in a while,
No,
but
but I was like, that's a good idea. And then it was like, oh yeah, we already do that.
yeah,
And I thought of the idea.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was originally
Like,
your
you
idea.
start a drawing and everyone passes it to the
Well,
right.
no, like we do, like we'll just have one subject that everybody has to do, and then like we each approach it like in a different way, and it's interesting to see how different people tackle the problem.
There's a YouTube page I'm obsessed with right now, and it's like they take cartoonists and like digital artists, and they'll sit them across from each other, and they have like their cool tech tablet, and they draw on, and they're like, you're gonna randomly draw this character, and they like there's like 5 different people, but they're paired up in teams. Like this person's drawing the Flash, and this one's drawing, like the one I just watched today was Wonder Woman and Superman, and then like 2 people, they don't look at each other the whole time, and they don't see what each other drawing, but they draw their interpretation from memory of those characters, and at the very end they compare them, and then compare it to the actual character. I'm obsessed with it. It's on YouTube. It's
That'd be
so
hard
much fun.
From memory.
Yeah, it's all from memory. You have to draw it from memory.
That's tough.
And then they talk to each other like, well, what do you remember from this character? And then they're like, oh, yeah, good call. And they kind of tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. Like I just like that like cool artsy stuff. Like we used to do this thing. I couldn't even tell you what it was called or where we got the idea from, but you get a piece of paper and you fold it up like 3 or 4 times, and then you do it 3 people. So like the very bottom layer is feet. So the first person draws the feet or the legs of whatever it is. But then they have to, like, on the next thing, draw, like, where it starts. So,
Oh, that's cool.
and then they fold it, and the next person draws the body and the arms, and then the next person draws the head. And then at the very end, it's 3 different artists, and you open it, and it's, like, one giant, like, abomination of a creature.
Yeah.
Tom, you only did one Abaddon Weekly so far, did you? Or did you do more than one?
Cobra.
No, I've done a couple.
Oh, the Cobra,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Cobra and...
Rock of Ages?
The
Rock of Ages.
Oh, yeah. Rock of Ages. Cool.
So here's how the Abaddon Weeklies usually go, right? I'll just steal like an old Flash thing and like kind of redo it. Watson will just take a lady head and it'll only
And
like
put it in whatever.
only like a small amount will have to do with whatever the theme that week is. Basically, lady head. And Kira will just put like something in an ice cream cone.
Yep.
Everything's in an ice cream cone.
Everything.
The only one
I'll
that
do-
draws anything original is Chris.
I'll do the exact opposite
I didn't
of
say that.
Watson.
Who's Chris?
We can't use his name, so we're gonna call him Scrimps Shrimp Shit Shrimp. What is his last name? Bishop. Shrimp up.
Yeah,
Scrimp Shrimp up.
Can't you just go like Captain Hands?
Yes.
The captain.
Captain
Captain.
Okay.
We can call him Rook. Like
Rook?
Bishop's like a chess thing, right?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Watson will do the manliest thing he can, so I'll do the complete opposite and do the most ridiculously girly thing I can.
Like a lot of your art has like the glitter and sparkles in
Yeah.
it. I love it. Like it's like
Are you saying that that's as manly as Watson's design can be?
What? I have a
They're-
lady
They're
head?
pretty feminine.
My
No,
designs
but
are
he
quite
like
manly.
his palette is so like not. There's no like purple or pink ever, which are like the girliest.
He's
colors.
moved on for the magenta these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you used to dig magenta?
Yeah.
It was his red substitute.
What happened to that?
Didn't
Bring it
even use
back.
red. Just use magenta.
That's what
what
he
Can
I
you
did.
believe that?
Outrageous.
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 Well, I'm going to let you do it.
Okay.
That's your thing.
do you
We
guys
have someone here who knows all of Watson's dirty little secrets.
Ooh.
I probably have known. I guess I have known you the longest, haven't I?
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow.
And then me, and then Chuck.
And then
Kira.
Chuck. And
Now,
then
are
Kira.
you apprenticing for tattoos, or are you just doing the piercing?
Kind of. And we got a lot of stuff going on, so.
Yeah, I mean, you pierce a lot. You're busy.
Ow.
You were in there for a while today. Like you were doing a
Yeah.
lot.
It happens, especially on Saturdays.
Is that like the walk-in days?
I kind of just do walk-ins with piercings all the time, but I also had a whole bunch of people message me for after Christmas about getting
Oh,
piercings
they
for
got,
people.
They got
for
that Christmas money,
Yes.
and they want to spend it getting poked.
Yes.
What do you think you do the most? Like ears,
Noses.
noses. Yeah, the nose hoop
Yes.
is getting really popular again. Like the nose hoop,
Yeah.
it's coming back.
I think a nose would be the most.
I think like last year though, the septum was really popular. I've seen a lot more people getting septums done.
Yeah, they're a pain in the ass though.
They look
Septum?
like they hurt
They're
a lot.
such a pain in the ass. They're not too bad, but like if your septum deviates a little certain way, or like if your nostrils aren't even, like it just screws everything up. Like the piercing itself could be perfectly even, but like
rubbing
if
my
you're
nose 'cause I'm
you're
like,
like no. But like if your one nostril is smaller than the other, it just looks like everything's shifted, even though it's not. It's
Yeah.
just like, yeah.
Piercing talk.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm getting involved here.
You know, talk
Hi.
gets so quiet. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody,
No one
nobody
else
else
knows anything.
Nobody else knows
Hi.
anything about that.
Can we leave for the part that we talk about?
Now, how long have you been doing this? Like, do you have to go to like piercing school or?
I apprenticed for, I don't even know how long that was for, but I've been piercing for 4 years now. I think it's 4 years.
Yeah, I guess
I think it's
4
going
or
on 4.
5. Yeah.
Four,
Do you
something
guys
like
have
that.
do you guys have like a record of how many piercings / tattoos you've done in one day? Like, do you have a personal record that you've done?
When I did a special a while ago, and what the fuck did I do? Like 72 in one day, wasn't it?
72 piercings.
Yeah, because I was here until I was here till 1 a.m.
Wow.
Do you remember that? Because I
do-
was
I do
so
remember that, yeah.
tired and grumpy, and
Like-
I was like, "Someone help me!"
Did you like that day, Watson?
I mean, yeah. I love the noise and the
So do you guys have a number of tattoos you did in one day that was like...
Oh, I've done 13 on Friday the 13th, and they're all like about that big.
Yeah. Like Flash...
in Texas.
Like the Flash ones are like...
Yeah, it was the one that guy reposted.
Yeah.
I did like 13 of those when I was in.
Now, if
Austin.
someone comes in and picks one off that paper, do you like cross it off and like, nope, that one's taken?
No, for that day, I was like, these are going to be done multiple times because it was our Friday the 13th special.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I always wanted a Friday the 13th special tattoo, but I want a 31 because the Offspring song. So I think maybe that's stupid. Don't judge me.
I'm actually I'm unfamiliar with. How did it go?
He asked for a 13, but they drew a 31. Pretty fly for a white guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was isolated, man. I grew up like a
Amber always plays that song.
Yeah.
Have you not heard it?
It does play every once in a while, yes.
Like my cousin is a tattoo artist, but he's like, I have a cool idea for a tattoo, and I tell him like, stupid. He's like the Simon Cowell of tattoo world. So like that's when I said it, I was like looking around like, don't make fun of me.
Oh no, I'll just tell you it's a great
Talk to
idea.
Warren
No.
Security guy about it.
You're like, you're right. That like I'm talking and I'm just staring at him.
We
He just
all
gives me the
hate
space,
What's
and I'm
the
like,
idea that he said was stupid? We'll
I
tell you
forget.
after this.
No, I don't remember, but just he hated it.
He wanted the 31 instead of the 13.
We hate it.
Yeah, I watched him at one time. Someone walked in
Because Offspring.
and they wanted like the infinity, like I guess because it's something that's very popular, the infinity.
Scrimps, Schmiship.
I'm gonna screw that up way too much.
Scrimps.
Even I screwed it up.
I'm gonna screw that up.
This has been sponsored by Ying. I should have brought my.
You
I have a whole
you
bunch
don't
of
have a beer or water.
koozies.
My tea's in the
I
back.
should have brought the koozies.
I love
yourself?
koozies.
I'll bring them next time.
I love
I,
koozies.
the band Hooligan literally gave me a gym bag full of Yingling koozies because they're like, we have too many, take them, give them away on your shows, and I forgot them. So next time I come, I'll bring a whole bunch for you.
Plus, it's good to support local businesses.
Local small craft breweries.
I'm a Chetty
I don't
guy.
like calling
small craft.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't like calling that, but
technically is a craft beer. They're the godfather of
I
craft
was,
beer.
saying, I was making fun of it because
they do have a chocolate porter.
Oh.
All of a sudden, that is quite delicious.
The what?
The chocolate porter.
Yeah.
Oh, the Hershey one. Yeah, it is good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I wish I had a little more chocolate, but it was
Really?
good. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I thought it was just the right amount.
I'm glad it's a porter, not a stout, because
So
stouts.
you don't like dark beers, do
But
you?
porters aren't like roasted as roasted as much as a stout. Like every
They're
stout
not as
to me,
heavy.
yeah, all stouts taste like coffee to me. And
How
I
many
hate-
of those chocolate porters can you drink though in a row?
I think the night we I did a live podcast in a bar in Monte City, and I think that night I had 4 or 5.
You don't have to brag,
Yeah.
dude.
I'm just saying I had one the first night.
No,
it
I
came
like
out.
them, but they're just like so sweet. I couldn't have more than like 1 or 2.
Yeah,
You're sweet enough.
yeah.
I'm sweet enough.
I'm a Chetty guy. I like Chesterfield. That's my favorite.
Chetty Wap.
I think it's I don't like to drink it all the time, but it's unique.
That's like my go-to.
I think it's a unique.
It's my go-to.
Chetty?
Yeah,
Chetty's.
it's unique.
Yeah.
I'm a lager man.
I like lager. I like black and tans.
Which I really hope it doesn't start playing.
Around
for
here,
some
no one
reason.
might
What?
care, but
What
like
happened?
The
I was-
speaker just went off.
I drank Yingling just from like when I'd visit, and I was like, "This beer is so fucking good." And but you can't get it. You know, it's like
A lot of people
where I'm
hate on
from,
it
it's
just
like a
because
rarity,
it's
you know?
like
Well, when
from
I
it's
lived
here, like,
when I lived in
sweet
California,
Yingling.
I would drive back and forth and bring cases of
Yeah.
Yingling for all the Pennsylvania people
Oh,
living
yeah.
in
the people
in
who don't
Sacramento.
live here who've tried it are like, "Whoa! Like you guys just get to drink this all the time, and it's
Yeah,
just
they
like
love
cheap
it.
beer." It's like it's really good beer.
It's
actually.
huge. It's huge, like in the military.
yeah.
Like I tattooed in San Diego, and
San Diego has a big beer scene too. That's my brother's
Huge
there.
craft beer
He's
scene,
in
yeah.
San. Well, he's not technically right now, but he's stationed in San Diego. He's home on leave,
peasant
but he's in the Navy as a corpsman, but he's stationed with the Marines in San Diego. He loves it out there. He's awesome.
yeah, it's a good place. It's beautiful. Yeah, lots of good beer. Lots of. I wouldn't say that they're the
I'm
top
not-
city for craft beer,
I'm
but they're
not a
up there.
fan of the because he brought some home. A West Coast IPA is way different than an East Coast IPA.
So San Diego, that was pretty much their thing for sure. Was like IPAs. It's very hot IPA dominant, and in San Diego, there's not a lot of rules like within like the beer scene.
It comes down to
It's
a
like-
water source too. Like if you have a good water source, that's why I like East Coast beers, because like the mountains and the water source that come off them just make a better. Like I had beers in Vegas, and
Like
I
the
did
water's better here.
technically, yeah, like the groundwater.
What are you trying to say?
This
man?
seems.
Yep.
What are you trying to
Oh
say?
yeah, I mean you got two West Coasters here. We're gonna.
I think part of it is.
I'm not a scientist.
I mean, I
you know?
agree. I
You
agree
play one
with
on
him.
TV?
You know?
Yeah,
I think part of the thing is like for like Portland, for example, Oregon.
yeah.
Like they have a huge beer scene, but like the difference between somewhere like that and San Diego is Portland, and I think a lot of East Coast places, they stay very much more true to like what the beer is supposed to be. So like if
Yeah.
they're making a pilsner, they want it to be closer to what a traditional pilsner is supposed to taste like.
Yeah.
And like everything that goes into brewing it. Where San Diego, there's no rules, man. Like they can go as crazy as they want, and that was kind of their thing.
Yeah.
Like wild, like make it like IPAs, make it as bold and as loud and as bitter as possible. You know?
The ones he brought back though had some of the best art, like the West Coast style art on the cans and stuff. Because I like buy beers like I'm a 13-year-old buying a T-shirt, like it has a cool, like I don't have any plain T-shirts. Like everything has a design or something on it. I've been dressing the same since I'm like 12 years old, but I buy beer the same way. Like it has like a cool label. I'm buying it.
Yeah, I buy it for the
yeah.
art sometimes.
Or like a funny name.
You
Sold me.
So you can judge a beer by its cover.
100%. I do all the time. It sucks me in every time. Like, oh, look, it's funny. It's like a play on Ninja Turtles. I'll drink it. Yeah.
Just do not drink a watermelon IPA.
A watermelon IPA?
Don't do it.
That sounds horrible.
It's horrible.
I had a watermelon mix. It was a watermelon something, but it was a wheat beer. But it was like a sour, like a wheat sour from
Oh, I like sours,
Rotunda, and it was awesome.
Really?
Sours
But they make
rule.
really good beers there. Like they're awesome. But yeah, we're actually getting invited to Mellow Mink in a couple weeks. We're going to be going to like the actual brewery and doing like a whole episode. Pretty excited about
Where's
it.
that?
Like up in the Harrisburg, Allentown area.
What's it
Wherever,
called?
Mellow Mink. Wherever Cantwell lives now.
Oh,
He's, huh? Yeah, like that area somewhere. I'm excited. It's gonna be really fun. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do a lot of this year with our beer show is do like a lot of like on location at breweries.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Have you done a Snitz in Lebanon yet?
Did you see
I
they
haven't.
put out a new one?
New what?
New beer?
Snitz?
Yeah, it's a strawberry marshmallow beer,
That was good.
and it's a sour. I don't know. They just released it on Friday, and I want to try it so bad.
Nice.
So Snitz has one of the best blueberry beers I've ever had.
Oh yeah, that's great. Like
Yeah, their blueberry's amazing.
absolutely.
Bluebirds?
Blueberries. But do you guys have? We'll kind of throw it this way. Like going back to the art of the year, is there something that you remember that somebody else did at the shop that you're like, man, I really liked? Like to give somebody some compliments, maybe pass some love around. Is there a piece of work that somebody did this year that you've seen from somebody and you're like, that was really good?
Chuck,
I have one. Chuck did a kitty cowboy.
Oh,
you did a what?
Kitty cowboy.
Oh, that one was rad.
that one.
I
was-
A kitty cat? What?
And do you remember what it said on
I don't think I remember. this one.
Meowdy.
Meowdy Perdner?
I love it.
And it was in here the other day. Healed. It looked awesome.
Yeah.
That's right. If
Super
Ricky is
bright.
listening, that's who I did it on. It's one of my favorites, and I think one of hers, I hope.
I would say that Eagle Devil Head.
On Justin, yep.
Yeah,
That's
nailed
one of my
that. That's-
favorites from the year. I guess I feel like this is part of the question earlier, like, did you accomplish anything this year that you were proud of? I was featured in they just released a book that I'm in called Tattoo Punks. It's the volume 3 of the book, and
Didn't you just get that book?
I was just happy to be in it. So shout out to like Josh and Razorblade and all those guys that do that book. So we'll be selling some here at the shop as well.
yeah.
You know,
Awesome.
if anyone wants to
Little
pick
plug,
one
yeah.
up.
Awesome.
Little shilling going on there.
I'm just learning about this now.
I've been a fan of it's out of Pottsville. I don't know if you guys like the Retro Lovely magazine. You ever see them? It's kind of like a
From Pottsville?
yeah.
No.
It's I had him on the show a long time ago, like earlier. He's like he does like photography, but he does like the pinup style. He has like a adult like a topless version and then like a non-topless version. But every girl in it is like all shapes, sizes, color, everything. But like it's all very like they all have tattoos, so it's like pinup,
Yeah,
but
I'll
like
have to check it out.
like a punk rock
Yeah.
pin. Like it's like Ink magazine means pinup art.
From out of Pottsville. No,
Super
that's kind of cool. 'cause
Yeah, it's
so
called
close.
Retro Lovely magazine.
Nice. We'll definitely check
But like,
that out.
I don't want to be weird, but like you have like obviously a very beautiful girl, and you're like
be weird.
the whole time,
Yeah,
like the whole time, like, oh my
weird.
god, but look at their fucking amazing art. Like I like because it's like cool tattoos, like and it's cool, and he features it like on the magazine, like it's like a part of it, like
Nice.
it's a cool style. Yeah,
It's like artistic, but it's also like titties are there, right?
yeah, it's like cool but titties, bro. Yeah, but yeah. So have anyone ever been like in Ink magazine or anything like that? Like or any of those?
We had
things?
some articles on the shop in magazines.
Watson's had a couple interviews,
Yeah, a couple.
various zines.
They are all in
In
our
the
bathroom.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see.
they're in the bathroom.
Yeah.
We call it
The library.
the D. Michael Watson Memorial.
Has
Bathroom.
anyone has anyone like, yo, I'll be right back, I gotta go take a poop, and then they take the magazine off the wall and read it while they're in there?
I've
We don't know what
never
they're
gone
doing while
in.
they're pooping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never gone in with
I
anybody
hope
when they
no one
poop.
is taking anything off the walls because please don't. But it's
Second
just like
of all, it's
one.
too small to poop in there for.
How do you even sit down in there?
I mean, we have to sit to pee.
We're
so-
I normally
Shiwis.
upper deck it,
Shiwis.
but
We're the
that's just-
shortest. Huh?
That was you?
What did you do?
He's upper decking me.
Oh, upper
What is
deck.
clean that, okay?
If you upper decked in that bathroom, you are a ninja because
Yeah,
that's skill because it is tight in there.
He isn't.
It is tight. You didn't know.
Yeah,
Tom is very agile. He used to be a gymnast.
He used to be a teenage mutant ninja.
Not
Teenage
a turtle.
mutant ninja human.
Human.
you're very agile as well.
More or less.
I seen you do a front flip.
Oh, this guy can dance, man.
Oh, yes.
I have a video of that.
I front flip, I dance, it's true.
That was.
You want to give us a?
He has the reflexes of a lynx.
No one's seen it coming. No one's seen it. Just happened.
Well, Chuck just started handing me all of his items on his person slowly, and he's just pointing at Hal like, coming for you.
I'm going.
So me and Hal saw it coming. That was it.
It was a controlled barrel roll. I knew it was. It was a stunt move.
It's
you know?
amazing.
He's actually Mel Gibson's stunt double.
That's
Yeah.
what I seen. And Die Hard. Great
Everything.
Christmas
Mad
classic.
Max.
Yeah. Did you see the remake?
No.
Oh,
Tom
yeah.
Hardy.
It was good. It was
It's
really
awesome.
good.
I want to
Tom Hardy. Yeah.
Second one's coming out.
Love
Is
Tom
it?
Hardy.
Yeah, they just started. He said that's his next project. The director.
You don't watch movies?
I do, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I was looking
Huh?
at Eddie.
Oh, I
I
said
know.
Bruce Willis. Yeah.
I just
See?
didn't. I didn't want to be like mean
Thank
because that would have been like the third time I corrected him, and I was like,
We don't want to
do I
insult.
want to be like
No,
the
you can
corrector
correct me.
guy? You know what I mean?
No, because
Actually,
no, because
Actually,
what she's doing
Yeah.
is she's taking the
Like, oh,
mental
Chuck's,
note of all
Chuck's
this on the
splaining again.
car ride home. She's gonna nail me. She's like, by the way, you got all these references wrong in movies.
Chuck is actually
Basically,
our
should be holding you to a high standard.
I should be on a way higher standard.
Chuck is our
the host of this
official
How do you
shop
just back
fact
there like,
checker.
What?
Yes.
You fucking idiot!
You
What the fuck are you talking about?
You fucking idiot! But she on all she literally does is she comes home from work and she watches movies till she goes to bed. Like she is a movie fanatic, and 90% of them are always horror movies. Like she took a small break for Christmas.
Did you see Hereditary? No. It's so good.
We don't really watch the newer ones. Whatever's on Netflix, we watch.
It's on something. You can find it.
I've never seen any of the Harry Potters yet.
Scrimps, Scrigs, Muffins.
I know I have to do
What the
it.
fuck are you doing?
I have to do it.
Get with
Script,
the times.
script. Oh, I already forgot the last name.
Scrimps,
Scrimp-
Shrimps.
Is that it then?
Shrimpins.
Did we kill it?
Scrimps,
There's
Krampus.
another. There's another one
There's a
in
whole
the
other
fridge.
six pack.
Thank you.
God bless you, Scrimps.
Hey, you person, grab the other one out of the fridge.
Bless your heart.
Thanks.
He's the captain.
You know what? Can we just say his name? I'll pay the fucking royalty.
What a beautiful.
I
What
mean,
a what a
Do it.
what
I
a
thought
beautiful
we could
what
just
a
call
beautiful
Captain
human.
Hands.
You're gonna pay to feed us.
Valid point. Valid point.
Between the movies and this, it's all coming out now. It's all coming out. No secrets.
You can just hand it straight to me.
I will take it, please.
I just watched
Straight to the bank.
I've been doing the Cody. I just redid the whole Cody thing where you can pirate.
Oh, on your
Movies.
fire stick.
Oh yeah, mine's not been working well.
I did it on my Xbox because I feel
Okay.
it runs better on the Xbox than the Fire Stick.
Yeah, okay.
But I just
I
watched the
use
new
the Fire Stick.
Aladdin. Did you guys
Should
see
we
that
be
yet?
talking
Oh,
about
no.
this?
Yeah, is this
Probably
legal?
not.
Illegal.
I mean, you saw a little FBI warning, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. It didn't. They cut that
They
part
don't
out.
pirate that part?
No, they cut it out. So it's like, well, I didn't see it. Like I didn't know it. Like I didn't know you couldn't turn on red.
Zuckerberg is listening.
That's all right.
He's always listening.
Oh man, this up.
I'm gonna get an ad for Aladdin on my Facebook now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was good. Did anyone see it yet?
No.
Live action Aladdin.
The live action.
Will Smith.
Did you see it?
No.
Well,
but I want to.
So,
It was
the,
good?
the complaints I heard before going in was no one was happy that Will Smith was the genie.
Why?
What are they gonna do? Get Robin Williams?
Listen, they CGI'd Tupac,
Oh,
Valid point.
but
Who would play it? Someone from the Blue Man Group?
yeah.
Yeah, what
That'd
did
be
they
awesome.
want?
No, this
like
movie
what do
already
they
happened,
want?
Tom.
Who would be?
Well, I know, but I'm saying, why are they upset?
Because they
Oh,
didn't
I
get a
don't know.
real blue guy.
Because they didn't get
Yeah.
a real blue guy?
Oh yeah.
I
It
liked
was
it.
cultural appropriation.
No, it's just.
Should they have gotten a black
washing
Smurf?
hands.
I don't
I guess
understand.
so. But Will Smith was amazing
I
as
believe
genie.
the preferred nomenclature is African American Smurf.
They don't live in America.
Smurfs?
Yeah.
Switzerland.
Thank you.
Smurfs are from
No, they're
Switzerland.
Are they really?
originally.
Is it from Belgium?
Yeah.
I always thought they were from Switzerland.
company.
Or
And do you know what they're-
France.
and,
France.
do you know what they're called?
What are they called?
They're schmoofs.
They're schmoofs. Okay.
That's true, right, Tom? Tom knows.
That's his last name.
They're schmoofs.
They're
Scrimps to
Hey,
schmoofs.
Schmoofster schmoof. Say so. Hey, everyone, be quiet for 1 second.
People are gonna be okay.
Scrimps,
Yes.
bless us with something right now. It's like a cool saying or something, you know.
What if you just would have farted? That'd have been amazing. If you could fart and command that.
He's been doing that this whole time. I don't know.
Yes.
Has that ever happened during Tattooed? Have you ever like, oh boy, I have to fart?
So one time, many years ago,
that's a great question. I didn't even know. I'm gonna ask the
actually
weird-
at the old location of this shop,
Oh no.
I was tattooing. I don't know. She was probably like 18. It was, and she was getting a pretty good size tattoo on her ribs, and she was really having a hard time. It was tough. It's a tough spot.
Yeah.
And so she's kind of tensing up, just kind of. And then like I'm tattooing her, and she's just, and then, and you could just tell. Man, she was so embarrassed.
Be about Tom fart.
She was so embarrassed.
She
And like she started sweating a little bit, and I just felt really bad, and it was so awkward. So I just farted too,
Loud.
and then it made her laugh, and like she calmed down, and then we finished the
There we
tattoo.
go. That's awesome.
I've never heard that
Briefly
story.
doubted Tom. Like,
I know.
I
Lean
was
in.
like, oh, I thought you were gonna fart, guy.
Lean in and be like,
You brought it
I
back.
feel like that's kind of the
controlled
customer
fart.
service part of our job.
yeah.
Right.
I liked how that story flowed.
Yeah.
How to get back to it. Yeah.
Tom, that's what we call a setup. You know what I mean?
Oh
Set us
yeah.
up for
Yeah. Nice. Good job, Tom.
Good job, Tom.
Anyone else have a funny fart story while they're tattooing somebody?
I've never farted, but I don't know if you guys are the same as me. Like
Ever?
sometimes, during a tattoo, but like there's a lot of times though, like when you're like taking a break or something, it's like the farts are built up. And you have enormous farts when you go into the like it's like you have like an hour or two of farts just like built up.
It's like church.
When you
Yeah.
walk
Girls don't
back,
fart.
Girls on
when you
fart.
walk back and
So I
you're
wouldn't know about
like,
any of that.
you just fart. I'm like, oh, did you too? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Well, I used to tell
Aw,
Amber,
not you.
close your ears, Amber.
Nope.
Something's about to happen now. Because I'm polite.
do it.
And it turns out Amber loves huffing farts.
Oh yeah, that's exactly
She
what
loves
it
it.
is.
She fucking loves it.
Breathing them in deep.
Admit it. You said it. You basically
Man, I didn't know that either. Man, I'm learning all this stuff.
Yeah.
I think farts are funny.
Let's be like tattooing for
Farts
2
are
hours,
always
and I'll go
fun.
back there and it's like,
So it's like once the shop doors close, everyone just like
what's that?
immediately.
Fart party.
Everyone exhales their farts out.
Yeah.
Amber's just back there.
The essence of charm.
They actually don't even pay her. She just hangs out at the end of the day to get all
She
the
gets paid
farts.
in fart.
How
Yes.
did you know?
Oh god.
My face hurts now.
Is that why you were sniffing the couch cushions the other day?
Was I?
That was weird.
Oh shit. Sorry.
I just thought that was like a weird quirk of hers.
I mean, it was a weird way to take a nap. If that's what
Heidi
she
can
was
hold
doing.
in a fart for like a year.
She's like, don't bring me into this.
What did I
Like,
tell
I'm
you?
out.
Girls don't fart.
Oh, Heidi farts. Oh, listen, I'm blowing her up. This is what she did to me the other day. So we were at my parents' house for like, was it Christmas Eve? Right, Christmas Eve. We're at the house. We're there for hours. Hours. Nothing. We get in the car. I close the door. I start the engine, and she just. Like, the walk from the house to the car couldn't have been enough. Like, she held it in until we got in the car.
You're trapped with it.
Yeah, and just.
She has a plan. She can use the engine noise as like a cover, you know?
I have to reupholster the seat.
Sharing is caring, man. You know,
She always shares. She's very talented.
very thoughtful of her.
Yeah, I love her to death. But Jesus Christmas, whatever comes out of that, it's just bad news bears. It's bad
Little
news.
toot toot.
Yeah. Oh, it's more like when a steamboat. Brr, it's not even. It just surpasses toot toot. It's not even cute. It's,
She's plotting your death now.
yeah, it's like.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a nuclear. This is nothing.
She knows how to do it too. She watches a plethora of horror movies.
Yeah.
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 She'll
ready.
definitely not get away with it because she'll be too sloppy. But
You're like, why do you have like 20 gallons of bleach in your trunk?
Listen, I watched a lot of documentaries. I got you. We got this.
you'll get caught because of my laundry. You'll never get done with my bloody shirt. Oh, see
Ooh,
that?
shots fired.
Yeah, I'm
Dun,
gonna
dun,
get
dun.
stabbed in the car on the way home.
You're packing up your own microphones tonight, buddy.
What was the horror movie you just watched recently? Oh, we just watched It 2. Did you see It 2?
I have not.
It's pretty
saw
good.
it.
Either yet.
It's cool.
I've never seen a horror movie. What are they about?
Horror.
You
Scary.
watch horror movies?
Scary bloody.
Have you
You
ever
like
seen
Watson?
Keanu Reeves act?
Yeah.
It's not as scary as
No
that.
one
Not as
follows
nearly
that.
as scary. Except John Wick.
Oh
though.
yeah,
John
the
Wick was
worst
cool.
horror movies. I'm like,
You're
I'm
worse than
definitely.
I am.
He doesn't talk.
Oh,
perfect.
I have seen a horror movie, Kira.
Well, I mean, do you
It was
avoid
hyperbole,
them
Kira.
like Watson does? He avoids them actively.
I don't.
Horror
Yeah, 'cause
movies.
they're scary.
You know what?
I mean, why would you want to watch that?
Scary.
Okay, do not sound like that.
They don't really hold my interest. I don't go out of my way to watch them, but I have seen horror movies.
Like, what is your genre?
Genre? Boy, that's a tough one. You know what? I'm just a simple person.
Mean Girls, probably?
Yeah, Mean Girls
Yeah.
is good.
There you go.
Mean Girl.
Have you ever heard of a movie called Blue Crush? It's really good.
Oh man.
R.I.P.
You know
Paul
my
Walker.
favorite movie of all time, Top Gun.
The one with the duck.
Are you excited for part
Oh,
2?
the goose. The one with
That's
the goose.
probably
Talk to
my
me.
God.
Talk to me, Goose.
Listen, Top Gun Part 2 is the only remake of a movie that I'm like kind of like excited.
It's not a remake. It's just part 2.
Is it just Part 2?
Yeah.
I'm really excited for the second Coming to America that's happening.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually already
That'll probably be
apparently
good.
wrapped up filming. It's already done. It's just waiting.
And we're getting another Ghostbusters this year.
Yeah,
See, I'm not interested.
I'm
Not the
excited. I'm
chicks one
excited
again,
about
is it?
that.
No,
something
it's
else.
Okay.
the original cast is all going to be in it,
Except for
but it's gonna be
Harold
his,
Ramis.
yeah, it's gonna be his
No, they're bringing him
grandson. Yeah, it's gonna be his
CGI
grandson.
Harold Ramis.
Yeah, no.
What
no,
if they
no.
CGI him as a ghost and they have to?
is Will Smith going to play him too?
Everyone can be outraged
When
about
they
it.
take like cartoons and make them live action movies like that, I have no interest in. So like Aladdin, I was just like, why would anyone watch this? I really,
It was good. It was good.
Ghostbusters.
Disney
I was
was
like,
like-
why would anyone watch this? You know?
Ghostbusters wasn't originally a cartoon.
No, but like it was like a different cast, and now it's like, oh, this is also Ghostbusters. You know?
Oh, the girl. I actually liked the girl Ghostbusters.
I thought it was okay. Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny.
had Thor in. You like him?
Yeah.
I just don't need that. I don't need that in my life.
Yeah. I understand. The world's complicated enough. You can't have two Ghostbusters.
I mean, just like there's a lot of stuff you can do with your time, and there's a lot of movies that fall into this category of like, I just don't have any interest in this. That's all. I'm not like on Twitter like, so mad at movies or whatever. You know what I mean?
Why
Or
are you
whatever.
typing like this?
This is how I type in real life.
Oh, okay. And are you using your phone to do this and being like,
I mean, have you ever gotten a text from him? Like, what the hell is this mean?
He's the one guy that bought the keyboard that you plug into your iPhone.
oh, okay.
It's the one sale it got.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't. There would be no point because then I'd just be like,
You went to the Columbus School of Typing?
Wait.
is that Columbus style?
Yeah. Find a
Okay.
key and land on it.
Tom's a father now, so it's like the kind of thing.
Father jokes.
Yeah.
Dad jokes. Dad jokes.
Yep.
Do you have any? You have any good dad jokes?
I got a lot of bad ones.
Give us one.
No, you can't put me on the spot like that.
It is hard with jokes.
Yeah, it's got to flow, man. It's just got to be natural. It's
gotta be nice.
It just happens.
Like, what did the one snowman say to the other? Hey man, do you smell carrots? See, Heidi liked it. Heidi loves dad jokes, and she heard it before.
Do you have any kids?
No,
I can tell.
yeah. I would be terrible changing diapers, so I didn't go that route. And I'd rather have a dog. It's easier, I think. I'm like, go to your room, and the dog's like, all right.
Well, she
He
likes
feeds
horror
me.
movies, so like she's probably okay with changing a few diapers.
Yeah.
That is a horror show, man. I'm telling
Yeah, she would have to do with them all.
And she's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
We're
you. I do have a pirate joke or two.
All right.
My mom loves these ones.
All right.
What is a pirate's favorite letter?
I know it, but I'm gonna let you do it.
You thought it was the R, but it's the C.
Oh.
Okay, one more.
You swerved me.
How much does a pirate pay for corn?
How much?
A buccaneer.
Those are great.
She eats them up. She eats them up.
Pretty good.
She does love it. I can look at
Yeah,
it.
she does. She loves
your
it.
cow is
She loves it.
Aw,
Oh, the
How's your cow, Amber?
that's my cow. It was a gift to me from
That
a
is
client.
Kira's cow.
Didn't you gift it to Amber?
Not really. It's just been chilling up there.
Maybe.
Oh, did you?
Now,
I don't remember.
the
I don't
art on the
remember
wall
either.
is that all by you guys, or that stuff you picked up
Maybe
along
you
the
should
way?
have tried to pierce the
This
cow, Amber.
is all of our. Yeah. This is. No, that one is not ours.
This is yours. No.
That's it. That's the only one, though. I think everything else on this
Yeah.
wall has been done by somebody in the studio.
I like this one a lot.
Oh, thanks, man.
The Asian girl cutting her wrist. I
It
think
sucks. Don't lie to him.
no, I do like that one a lot,
Thanks.
Dun, dun, dun.
Spooky.
Yeah, that's an old one.
and I like the ones in the
That's
back,
nice.
the Strange World ones, where it's all like boobs and penises.
Oh, the
There's one in
foreign
the back
weird
like
ones.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Odd World or whatever.
Born weird.
Born Weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool. I like this spider lady legs too.
that. Spider Lady Legs.
Spider lady
That's
legs.
the title.
Which
of
one
the
is one that
painting.
you did like a collab with? Was it that one?
Me and my buddy Jake
Yeah,
we did that one together.
Which one?
that one.
Oh, the rib cage with the.
Hi,
Yeah.
Jake.
That one's really cool too.
Hi.
Like honestly, like everyone asks, like with the podcast table, I have like mine, and I have like the sticker bombs, and like I'm like they're like why? I'm like because when you're like especially you're coming to like a tattoo shop or something, and you're like oh my god I'm so nervous I want to get tattooed I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this I'm gonna get pierced, and you start looking around you're like oh like it kind of for a moment it takes your mind off about like it puts you at ease. You're like oh obviously this is really cool like it's just like a mental stimulation I guess to
Yeah.
kind of. Not, I don't know. I mean, seeing an Asian girl cutting herself with a huge knife isn't easing, but it's just a cool art. It looks cool. Like, I'd be like, all right, if someone in here did that, I'm cool with them putting something on my body forever because it's really good looking.
I feel like there's lots of gore over here, and I just realized that.
Yeah.
Like there's a decapitated head, a dove's dying, robots
Watson.
dying.
Robots-
What the hell is
Robots
going on
don't
with you?
bleed.
Watson watched one horror movie as a child,
That was my
and
one.
now
for
he
life.
just paints them, but he can't watch them
What
anymore.
is the two woman face thing going on?
You know, I just did a series of postcard paintings one winter, and I've just
Yep.
it just came to my head.
Oh, I like this crabby boy. Come
Yeah,
on.
I like
yeah.
because the ocean scares me. Like I want to do a cruise so bad, but that would be like if I was out on a boat and there was no land, I'd be freaking the fuck
facing away
out.
from the camera. They're getting my back.
Yeah, that's all right.
Sorry.
Listen, this podcast is more or less to listen to. If
Okay, cool.
if some people like if they watch, I have to ask people, do you watch on YouTube? Like, yeah, but for the most part, I just kind of put it on YouTube and let my TV do it, and then walk away. So the visual's there if you want it. So if you want to put like a face to the voice, it's there for that.
Well, I mean,
but,
we're
Well, now everyone knows you by the look of your bald.
yeah.
but we're not like I don't like when I first started the podcast.
You don't have a bald. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, when I first started, it was like very played
Just like literally-
played to the camera, but I kind of like just said it's just there to be there. It's not really we're not really
I have the
playing
good
to
hair.
it.
I mean,
Thick,
they're gonna
luxurious.
they're gonna want to look at us. Though, 'cause
Yeah,
we're
100%.
obviously very good looking
It's a very good
Strapping.
looking
strapping crew. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to be described
Svelte.
as strapping. Svelte. That's nice.
What is it?
Svelte?
They actually they modeled a puppet after Kira.
Oh,
The
really?
anti-smoking puppet. Did you ever see it?
Did you ever see it?
No,
I bet you
it
haven't.
looks like it.
Yeah, it looks exact like minus the tattoos. It's her as a puppet. Like if they ever did like an episode where like of Crank Yankers,
wonder
that
if
would
I
be
can
her
find
puppet.
it.
It's perfect.
Oh, there it is, right there.
What?
Look, it's
Oh,
me.
it does look like you.
I'm now very intrigued.
Oh my god.
You've never seen this?
Jesus.
Yeah, it's her puppet. Like it's her Crank
Get
Yanker.
on there.
I don't know.
Is this
Good,
It even
anti-smoking
has tattoos
propaganda?
on its
Yes.
arms.
It does have tattoos. I just saw that. I'm like,
Does it really?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and blue eyes.
Is there a scrimps?
I think you can
crazy.
sue them.
I should.
What is
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Using my likeness.
Yeah.
Scrimps.
Or I'm gonna
Schmiship.
sue you, or just give me the puppet.
God, it's so weird. Look, there's another angle.
What's the
come from?
What's the Belgian?
Jesus.
Smurfs.
Look. It is Kira.
Yeah, that's 100% you.
What the hell?
Let's see. We'll do this. Well, as I say, we don't play to the camera. I don't know if that worked or not. Oh, almost dropped your phone.
You
Good
would
thing-
have been in the messages, so I hope there wasn't anything.
There's a case on
I
it.
can't believe this happened.
Look, there I am again.
I'm gonna start smoking
Holy shit.
again.
Because of the
We're at
puppets.
Doc Martens.
That's kind of scary.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scary. It's you. What the fuck is just you?
Someone's
Tattoos
Zuckerberg's
and
watching
Is
this.
this a local thing or was this like on television?
No, this
It
is
even
like
has
you know
winged
those
eyes.
truth ads.
Yeah.
I'm wearing
It's
Doc
on those
Martens
truth
right
ads.
now.
Truth ad.
Yeah.
What's happening?
What is it?
It's
Is it telling
you.
you not to smoke?
Yes.
Smoking it.
So, what are some things that your shop is doing this year that we can look forward to? Or
Like, let's reel it in. Well, we're gonna do an art show. Chuck's putting it on. We don't have the specifics yet, but sometime in spring, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. We got some conventions. Doing a convention in Scranton, one in Allentown area. We're doing a plethora of guest spots. I don't know, man. What else we got going on?
I'm doing a Harry Potter convention.
Harry Potter convention.
like a convention or tattoo convention.
It's a tattoo convention, but the theme is Harry Potter
That's cool. Where's that at?
in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Cool.
Okay, Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, the cool guys play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, cool guys. That's what they said.
I've never,
You two?
No,
I've never
it's
tried.
okay.
I've never tried Dungeons and Dragons.
It's
and
football for nerds.
I've never watched a Harry Potter movie.
Wouldn't it be like
well,
fantasy football? Don't they write out the strategies and stuff?
They used to,
I have
but
no
now-
idea
now
what they
apps
do
do
with fantasy
everything.
football, man. Football is like the worst. I can't watch
That's
it, man.
Tom. He knows all about it. He's a Raiders
What was the
fan.
question?
I feel like Dungeons and Dragons would be like fantasy football for nerds.
No,
Because it's like you're making it up.
Well, not really.
I've never played Dungeons and
Don't
Drag
you make
Queens,
fake teams?
so I'm not exactly sure.
well, Tom,
I was saying you might know more about fantasy.
I do know about fantasy football.
Regale us with tales.
Well, I've never actually been in a fantasy football league myself.
so you don't really know.
But
I
I
was
do
in
know
3 this
because
year.
I've been privy to have a lot of friends that do it. But there's different ways to play it. But essentially, like you like pick players that are your team, and then depending on how that player and your set of players as a whole do, like
Yeah.
week to week, you get a certain amount of points.
But Dungeons and Dragons, don't you have the one guy who's
that's fascinating. No, it's we saved the world and slay dragons.
Yeah.
well, doesn't
And
like
get
the,
points for shit and have points.
No,
for
they're,
stuff.
you know,
But
get-
I was going to say,
But-
Watson,
but, like-
I was hoping he actually didn't explain it or talk about it in any way.
yeah, you're like, God damn it! I
but
want
Dungeons
to.
and
Like, it has to
Dragons,
work fantasy.
you have a guy who's like the story master, right? Like he does the story.
Yeah, a guy who creates the story or like makes the story.
And some people think the NFL's fixed, so it could easily.
Is that true, Tom?
Dun, dun.
I don't know.
I think anything that money's involved, I think there's some type of.
Kira.
Can I use a lifeline?
Sure.
Kira could tell us about her fantasy Quidditch league.
I don't have
Kira,
one.
tell us about it.
I don't have
How does it
one.
work?
Quidditch.
Is that what they play with in
Are
the
you very
brooms?
sad?
Yes.
No, she's in a fan.
I
It's like
know,
fantasy
I-
football, but for Quidditch, she's a part of it.
Well, I don't have a team.
Favorite Harry Potter character?
Oh,
Dun.
shit. I don't know. It's hard.
Voldemort.
Voldemort.
Boom, boom,
No.
boom.
All right.
boom, boom.
I only know a handful of characters, so this is going to be tough to do. But we're going to do an F, Mary, kill. I'm going to give you Harry,
All right.
Hermione, and what's the redhead guy? Like
Ron Weasley.
the Weasley.
Okay.
guy.
Marry Harry
Okay.
because he's
Because duh.
one, he's famous.
Hello.
Two, oh,
He has a
Wait,
cool scar.
what did you say? Fish.
He's a cool scar, and
That
chicks
one.
love scars.
Oh,
I feel like you're gonna kill Ron.
I would kill Ron.
Yeah.
Kill Ron.
He sucks, sort of.
got
Yeah.
no soul.
Yes.
But he gets the girl at the end.
I know. I don't get
Wait,
it.
what are the,
They're not
what are the
compatible.
actions you can do? Marry, kill, and what was the other
F.
F.
And you know what the F
one? If
means.
it's the F word? Is that
Yeah.
because of the YouTube thing?
I mean, I could say fuck, but
Oh.
I'm gonna say we've been saying fuck all this whole time.
Yeah,
Now, like, hold on, guys.
but it might be
From
like,
now
it might
on
be like
out.
creating more work for him. Like, yes, beep, 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 beep.
no,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not,
Wait a minute. There's children involved though in this scenario, so we don't want to use that.
Well, no, they're
Amber,
my
cover
age.
your
They're
ears.
adults.
Wow.
No, we're doing it first movie.
First off,
Ooh.
rude.
That changes things.
Marry, fuck, kill. Voldemort, the dragon, or the guy with the big nose that works at the ministry.
Who's that?
I don't know, he's a little guy who works at the ministry.
The little guy.
There is no such character.
Yeah, the
He has,
little,
like, he has little tiny eyes
He's all
and big
cranky.
ears and a giant nose, and he wears a suit. I think he's like,
Oh, he works at the bank.
yeah, oh, he's a banker.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
He's
Well, he's good with money.
he's a goblin.
Okay.
What's Dobby or Dalby?
He's a house elf. He's different.
Okay, so if
He's
you
different.
had to marry,
Marry, fuck, kill Voldemort, dragon, or little banker guy.
This is where we take
sound
sides.
horrible.
I'd have to kill the little banker guy.
Yeah.
I mean, do you really want to fuck a dragon?
I can marry the dragon.
There you go.
Boom.
All right, listen.
but you know, like,
I would definitely, if I was gonna get fucked by something, it wasn't a human. You would 100% say I got fucked by a dragon, right?
But
That'd
you
be
would
kind of cool.
probably die.
I don't know, man. That would hurt.
If you do survive, though, you're
Marry
the
the dragon and fuck Voldemort.
Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. then you're like sort of a Khaleesi. You have a dragon to run around.
Exactly.
That is very true.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that as well.
I don't think
never-
dragons have a gender, though.
Fuck. You haven't seen Game of Thrones either?
That's why you marry him.
No.
Oh, okay.
Also, there's no.
We
Wow,
watched.
what is that?
We watched season. We got up to season 2 because we didn't have
Go ahead,
HBO.
everyone.
Dragon.
So I got up to season 2 and then I kind of just stopped because we got really
It
busy with
gets
stuff.
so much better. That's the
Oh yeah,
last.
So I watched season 1 twice. So I tried to watch it by myself, and I got like 4 episodes in. I was like, "Fuck this, I'm done." And everyone's like, "Why did you stop?" I'm like, "Because they're talking about people, places, and things as if I should already know about them."
Are we
And
still
it-
talking about Harry Potter?
No, this
it's
is Game of
Thrones.
Thrones.
Game of Thrones now.
And I was like, it threw me off.
Tune back in.
Yeah, heard of it.
So I was like, it threw me off because I was like, I already like they're treating me like I should already know, and it was off putting. So I stopped.
I had to watch. Me and my wife had to watch the first 2 seasons like twice.
Yes. So
it
I
was
Well,
very
they're
confusing.
giving you all the information you need to set up for all the
but
shit
they
that
throw
happens.
it right at you. There's
Yeah.
like they're
It's
like,
like you need to do homework with
yeah,
it.
Well,
like,
there's books.
like you need to draw a map
Game
and be
of
like, north is these
I
people,
was not
south
quite
is
as
here.
confused.
Yeah, I wasn't confused at all.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like The Witcher, which is fucking hard to figure out.
We watched
That was not hard.
half of the first episode and it looked so cheesy.
I mean, I played
that
the
we
video
stopped.
game. Yeah, it was a little cheesy, but I enjoyed it.
No, my qualms with that thing.
Yeah.
They mess with the timeline.
Yeah, that's it.
I heard they're going right by the. I see. I know someone who reads the books, and they said the first book and the first season of the show are perfect.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I like the show in general, but I was just like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
That being said, I didn't read the book and I don't play video games, so I have no idea.
Yeah, and then halfway through the second time watching, I was like, "Why does Aquaman keep raping this chick?" Because I only knew him as Aquaman,
Wait.
and then I don't remember his
Witcher?
character. No, in Game of Thrones,
Oh. Aquaman.
Aquaman, Jason Momoa. He was the
Oh, yeah,
barbarian
yeah. Khal
dude. All I know is he kept banging the really hot girl, and she just cried. And I was like, "This is really off-putting. I don't like that at all."
In the book, he's nice about that. He doesn't get all.
He's nice
rapey.
about the rape.
He doesn't rape her in the book, though.
Yeah,
from what I remember.
Oh, that just.
I haven't
the show?
watched that first
Yeah.
or one or
I
two
mean, I could be
seasons in a long
wrong.
time, but like, was it not consensual or like I don't
I think in the book it is consensual.
like serious question?
I mean,
here,
it
don't
wasn't
know.
a script.
In the show,
In the book, from what I remember, it's consensual. I could be wrong. I need to reread
in the show,
them.
she was kind of like just doing
She
it
was
for her
sold
brother.
to him.
In the
by her
show, it's
brother.
not consensual.
Okay, I'm
And her
just
brother
curious.
sucked.
Yeah, he sucked. No, in the show they got a little rough.
But then she did like fall for him, like she
Yeah.
liked him. Yeah, in the show, and then
I'm pretty sure in the book he's like not like that in the beginning.
Yeah.
But
the only thing I want to go back to the show for is because I want a character to die in the worst way. I fucking hate that little Joffrey.
Oh yeah, it's very satisfying when he dies.
Yeah, I mean I know he dies.
Okay.
I just was not told how. But I
Oh,
just
it's amazing.
I'm sorry, no.
fucking hate that.
I
dude.
didn't know you didn't.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
He wins. He's the winner at
Yeah,
the
he
end.
doesn't
He's
die.
the king.
I'm sorry.
He's the
Yeah.
king.
Strike
He's the
that from
game
the
of the
record.
Yes.
Thrones. And
He
then
marries the dragon.
and then I liked
He's the new Khaleesi.
and then I liked how
then he
Khaleesi's
fucks
brother died.
Voldemort.
He was pretty. That was kind of cool too.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I want my crown. I want my gold. And he's like, you want a crown? And they dumped all of it.
Yes.
That was kind of cool too. I mean, it's a cool show from what we got up to, but we just took a break from it, and we just didn't really go back yet. But yeah, I liked it from what we watched.
It's really good.
Yeah, there's like a few of those. Like I didn't watch Breaking Bad, and everyone was like going crazy until it was over, and then I binge
Yeah, I
watched the
did.
whole thing.
Oh.
I did say I
You've
binge
seen
watched
it.
it too.
Alright.
It's
Yeah.
good.
I loved and I liked Breaking Bad.
It was like Schuylkill County, but in the desert.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like
all-
I could definitely see like some of the teachers I went to school with making meth with their former
I've
classmate.
never watched that program.
what do you mean?
Get with
Program.
it.
Well, have you ever done like a cool like movie TV show style
Major.
tattoo
Sure.
that you're like, man, I really like doing this?
I did a really cool Dwight Schrute tattoo
When?
a couple of years ago.
Was it his portrait?
Yeah, it was like a traditional style of a portrait, and at the bottom it had a banner that just said "false."
Nice.
Oh, I love it.
Just like an
was really-
office thing? Is that what's going
Yes.
on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
You never
I
watched
did
The
it.
Office, right?
Yeah.
I did a dire wolf.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You did an Office. It's on Heidi.
Yes.
The teapot.
Yes, I just drew a new one. It's the Dwight bobblehead and the beats, but the beats are heart shaped around
Nice.
it. I haven't gotten to do it yet, but
I want to get an Office tattoo, but I don't know what I want yet.
well, listen, I got one for you.
What do you got?
The one I drew.
Whoa!
What character is it?
It's Dwight Schrute. I just told you.
Oh, the bobblehead.
I did do the office tattoo.
I do like that
On
one a lot.
Steven.
Ew, look
I
at
am not.
These are hearts.
That's the Sex Panther?
Did you see this?
No,
No.
it was a cup that said "World's Best Boss."
Oh, yeah. Sex Panther's just
Shout out.
I like
Steven.
I like Heidi's because if you're not an Office fan, you're like, why does she have a teapot around? But if you're an Office fan, you're like, oh my god, the teapot. It's like it's one of those things like you have to know it to see what you're getting.
The stapler in the jelly
Yeah,
mold, Jello mold
I
was a
have
pretty.
That. You did that as
That was
did
a
a
pretty
painting,
big
yeah.
tattoo trend.
You
really.
didn't
Yeah.
tattoo it then either.
I kind of like
Tons
those.
of people were
I
getting
like
it.
those subtle tattoos where
Oh,
it's
that's
like
right,
subtle like that. I think it's cool.
I've never done one, but some of my favorite ones are like the Twin Peaks tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
There's that one dude who.
Ron Henry Wells, in
Yeah, he
Rhode
did a
Island
whole
used to
bunch
do a
of-
ton of them. Man, they were
Have you ever
awesome.
had like when
Awesome.
someone goes to a convention and gets someone's autograph on them and then you tattoo the autograph on them? Have you ever done anything like that?
When I worked in Allentown, all right, where the hell was I? No, when I worked in Sacramento, there was some like New Kids on the Block, some weird like old band that was like doing like a reunion show, and this girl came in with all these signatures on her. I mean, we didn't actually tattoo I had her like wipe it off anyway. So, but we did take the images and then make stencils from them and do it that way.
Okay. And that she just walks
Yeah,
around with
I haven't done that here, but I've done that a couple times in Sacramento.
Yeah, I've done a couple.
Someone's did one here.
I did an
Did
Axl
Someone
Rose.
did.
Oh,
And
Did I do it?
Photo. I don't remember who did it, but I had to
you know
take a
how
photo
it kind of
of
looks like Benny Hill now?
There's not many people that I'm that
You seen that?
into that I would get that, but there's a few people I'd be like, man, I think they're funny enough. But then you like get them and then you find out like truly like they're like pricks or assholes. And,
Right?
Like I met
Like they did a Louis C.K. or something.
Oh man, yeah.
listen, he warned her. He's like, listen, if you come back to my room at 8:30 every night, I'm jerking off.
Like, listen, I'm gonna
Anyone
jerk
that's
off
seen
about
his
this
stand-up
time,
has been warned.
You can leave whenever you want, but this is
but I'm
happening.
gonna be jerking it.
Why would you go to his house?
Exactly. He's like, listen, I get a room, I have an extra bed, but at 8:30 every night, I'm gonna pull my dick out and jerk it off.
Yeah.
You can leave, you can stay. I
Like,
don't care.
he's
I'm not
not
gonna ask
joking.
you. I'm not gonna ask you to participate, but I'm just gonna let you know on my side of the room.
Is that how it went down?
Kinda.
Okay.
You guys are both canceled.
It is. It's been a good journey. It's been a
This
good.
is the end of Anthony's podcast.
That's why I turned down all of his invites to come hang. No.
Yeah, that's interesting. But
Well,
no,
I
like
hate all degenerate stuff. You know that, Tom.
Unless it's a hot take.
You love hot takes. We
I do
just
love
gave
hot
you a
takes.
hot take.
What's a hot take?
What we
They're,
just
they're
did.
back, dude.
They are back.
no, that was just a screechy
Yeah, they're probably-
car.
It was the same thing.
It was-
Oh, was that
Probably
same noise?
stealing our walk-in
Nope, it's
sign.
still there.
Okay.
It's still there. I'm watching.
Why? Why?
They're probably
What if it does get stolen?
scrabbling our
You know what
podcast.
would give a real taste of like the tattoo lifestyle to like the listeners? If
Scrub
Amber went
McGee?
and got
Oh.
the sign and brought it in.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Right now on,
Part of the daily routine.
yeah, just a part of the daily routine.
It's on the camera.
Amber takes out the walk-in sign. She brings it in.
Amberelli,
Amber does
Amberelli,
all
night
the
and day.
things.
It's Amberelli.
You are the Shap mom. That's kind of the deal, right?
Yeah. I'm the youngest, but I'm the shop mom.
Well, we're gonna hold your spot here, though, so you can.
I just. Hey,
We'll just sit here in silence. Everyone,
y'all are gonna
Just joking.
die, and then like fuck you.
But yeah, so is any other like movie ones or video game ones you guys did that you're like that was really fun?
I like the Star Wars sleeve. That was fun.
Yeah, the one that's in the bathroom?
Oh, you know the one that I did that was a lot of fun was like an old kung fu sleeve. So we had
Like the movie Kung Fu?
No, well, from old Shaw Brother kung fu movies from
Okay.
like the 70s and 80s, and then we had Show Nuff from The Return of the Dragon, or the one with Bruce Leroy. What's that? Oh, I forget the name. Oh, no, it's such a good
Bruce
movie.
Leroy.
Oh, you're not familiar with this
and
movie with
Black
Show
Belt
Nuff?
Jones?
Oh man, dude, it's fucking awesome, man.
Jones was in there.
Yeah, so he was on
No,
it.
I forget
Pai Mei, who was in like Kill Bill, but he was also in like a bunch of the old like 70s.
David Carradine.
You
Well,
did a
David
sleeve
Carradine was
of
not
this?
Pai Mei, but yeah, the whole sleeve of kung fu movies.
Yeah. Well, he was in the movie Kung Fu. David Carradine.
David Carradine within this, the show Kung Fu,
Yeah. The show Kung Fu, yes.
Show Kung Fu, yes.
Yeah. Speaking of weird jerk off.
Oh,
the eye.
yeah.
Is that the eye?
Well, I have glasses.
Yeah. I heard it hit the glass.
It went right through here.
I want to believe that he didn't die that way.
That he didn't die from erotic asphyxiation.
Yeah, I want
Wait,
to.
he
Like,
died of that too?
yeah, it's like a thing. Like him and the NXS guy.
You
And
think
more.
he got Epsteined?
I think so.
That's not how Epstein died. They're talking about a different thing, Tom. Do
Backing
you know what they're
away.
talking about?
I do know. But Watson's trying to say
There's
that
like
he
these
wants to
people,
make
and
believe,
they.
he wants to make believe that it didn't
How do I
happen.
explain this?
As if he was, he wants to believe that he
They-
was killed.
It is so important to them to get like a little tiny bit of extra jizz that they kill themselves over it
Thank you. Thank you.
by choking themselves.
Thank
Tom.
you. No, we
Have
had
you
this
heard of it?
discuss-
Have you heard of this?
Yeah, we had this discussion. We were talking about how Carlin's take on it.
What was his take?
I've not heard. I haven't heard.
To
it
get a
either. Go
little
ahead.
extra jizz.
Just like how much more do you get? Like a teaspoonful? I mean,
Is that
you know
the
what I mean?
reason?
This is a
I
family
don't think
show.
it's to
I
get
can't
any
talk
more.
about it.
I think it's just like they like the feeling of.
It's
You're-
the deprivation
listen,
of the oxygen.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
that,
like
I
a
don't
rush.
think the.
it was a hot take, dude. Come on. Don't. You're looking a little too much into it right now.
Sorry,
Come on,
you're
Watson.
delving too far.
But I like how you know all about it. You're like, that's not why. You idiot, you absolute moron. It's because it feels better.
So I've heard. I mean, I'm not an expert or anything, but these are the steps that you take to do it.
Anyway, I have to leave right now. I'm a little bothered.
Could you imagine like you like find like someone and they're like they had like not funny but like they had a heart attack? You're like, as one last prank, or like put them in the closet, get me a belt.
Whenever you
Where-
hear about like a celebrity and they die of like a heart attack, it's always from that.
Yeah.
I bet 1 out of every 4 celebrity deaths is that.
Like-
It's just that they try to hide it. You know?
Like I have really fucked up friends. Like if like Dave or Steve found me dead, they'd be like, how funny would it be if they found him with his pants off? Like
that sets you up like that.
100%.
guys, please don't do that to me.
It's just a rope swing, I promise.
Like if Tony Blackwell found dead in a sex swing.
Right? Like, Anthony's dead. Quick, pull his pants down and put a rope around his neck.
Ultimate last prank. We'll all laugh about it.
Just take a picture.
LOL.
Like, we have the same take. Look at that. We're like the same person.
Yeah, that's adorable, man.
Soups adorbs.
Soups and orbs, yeah.
It's a Cali connection. California love.
We're actually brothers.
Are you guys gonna start dressing together, like
You should.
matching
Trying not
matching
to dress the
scarves? Matching scarves?
We can only hope.
Yeah.
same. I
Tom
doubt
will
that.
refuse to wear a scarf.
But you do have the same green beanie. Or similar.
We do.
Green beanies.
No, it's exactly the same.
It's like a beanie. Carhartt makes it.
Here's the thing: just all male tattooers look the same. That's
I know.
it.
I don't
kinda
think
hate that,
that's-
but like, what can you
I don't think that's
Says,
true.
says the room full of bearded, bespectacled men.
Okay, first of all,
I
these
mean-
help
You
us
guys
see.
all
You
look
know,
like
like all
glasses.
like, old people look like that though too. Like all middle-aged white people just look like this. You know what I mean? Could be.
It's true.
I mean,
Could be. Oh, there's another one.
But he's
Scrimps.
like, there's more of a mustache on that one.
Well, he used to have a beard.
Yeah.
It still counts.
I like the new mustache look. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I had a solid mustache for a while, but
Just a
bring
mustache?
bring it back someday.
Like
Do
74
it
stash?
tomorrow.
yes.
Oh, tomorrow. You gonna do it?
Tomorrow.
No.
Okay.
No,
I
not
feel
tomorrow.
like if
Why,
you
what's
walk
tomorrow?
in with your
we
beard
just wanna
gone,
see
I'm
it.
just gonna be like, oh, okay, all right.
Speaking of walking, how about that sign?
Yeah,
I gotta get.
fine
I have
right
to
now.
like. I have to
Speaking
like
of
get
walking.
back into the
People are gonna
mustache
steal it.
mindset. Like it's a whole. You know what I mean? Like
it's there still. It's fine.
Is there a specific mindset that comes with a mustache, or that you have to have? Okay.
well, you got to be spiritually prepared.
Is all right.
I do remember a specific evening where Watson showed up at Hucklebucks
Oh, you remember that mustache?
with a mustache
Why? Why did?
Oh, yeah.
and immediately
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, dude,
Was it horrible?
go home.
Oh, it was great, man.
You look You look like a pervert.
That's why I did it.
Oh no!
Listen,
Do the creep.
And his look was kind of like, do I? I do? Are you sure?
How do I
when
look?
I had a mustache, maybe for I don't know, like a year or two or something like that, it was to disturb people. Like I actively wanted to turn people off.
It
You know
was
what I
not
mean?
horrible because I saw a photo. There's a photo on your Facebook page.
Yes, go on.
I went creeping because I had to find a photo to post something, and I was
I was
like,
lurking
oh.
at all my old pictures with mustaches, huh?
Hi.
Amber's
fun,
into
everyone.
mustache.
Back when I was a young mustachio.
Did not look bad.
Is there a tattoo that you guys haven't done yet that you would like to do?
Dwight Bobblehead.
A Dwight bobblehead.
Tony.
I'll take it.
All right.
Done.
Done.
Save it for me.
Right?
We accept deposits with cash or PayPal, Venmo, or credit card.
Okay. Venmo. No pay.
Credit card is with a 5% fee,
Not for deposits.
not for deposits, but in general.
Did he ask about like our?
Yeah, you're like a tattoo.
He just
that-
said that he wanted the bobblehead. I was just letting him know. He said, hold
There's
it
a
for
sign
me.
right there that tells you about the
He
deposit.
just said, hold it for me. So
Yeah.
One
well,
thing
just thought
that
I'd
I'm
let him
a
know.
little disappointed about in Kira in particular is that
Excuse me.
there we go. Podcast
let's hear it.
let me tell you, no, is that she has not yet posted a Baby Yoda ice cream cone.
Listen, since you've said it, I've been thinking about it, and this weekend I'm gonna draw one just for you.
Hell
A
yeah.
Baby Yoda ice
There you
cream
go.
cone.
I like it.
Yeah, it's
I
However,
just-
that is
I
not the
don't wanna-
tattoo that Kira's going to do on me. She's going to do a cat
The jewel
holding in his little paws
and a flat brim
jewel pod.
hat and glasses.
Has everyone tattooed
glasses.
everyone here? Yeah.
Watson's tattooed me
I've
and
tattooed
Amber.
I've
Amber
tattooed
and
Scrimps,
Tom.
and I've tattooed Ember.
I haven't
tattooed
tat-
by everyone here.
I haven't
yeah.
tattooed Chuck
I tattooed
or
him.
Chris.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah. That's man. That's awesome. That's so
It's in my
badass.
head. It's fine.
I have only tattooed Watson
Oh, yeah.
and Amber.
How long ago was the tattoo from? Because you guys go way back.
Yeah, one was like 6 years ago. 5. It's right before you left.
2013, I think.
Yeah, when you went back
What
for.
were you? What actual years did you work in Pine Grove before? Like from the time the shop opened.
From the
to
time
what
the
year?
shop opened until the end.
You were there for 4 years.
Yeah, I think
I think so.
2014.
So
Yeah.
when you left, then I started.
Is that
There
14?
was a little bit of time in
2014.
between,
yeah.
but yeah.
I started working the shop like.
I think everyone needs an ice cream cone from Carrie. An ice cream cone of
Everybody.
your favorite thing.
Yes.
What would you get?
I don't know about
An
ice
ice
cream.
cream cone?
That's a little.
Not for me.
I would probably. I mean, I love Batman, but I don't think I would do a Batman ice cream cone because I have like a whole Batman thing going on right now.
You can make his bat ears like candy corn.
Oh my god, yes.
But
Yes.
man, I don't know. It'd be tough. I mean, the Batman would probably be the go-to. I'd probably do like a Batman ice cream cone.
Love it.
Yeah.
What would
Ready?
you get? What
Little
ice cream cone?
Reese's.
I don't know. I have to let me put some thought into that.
A lady head.
Yes.
Lady head ice cream cone.
Yes.
Why they're
like, does
looking
it
at me?
make
I don't know.
sense?
I'll have to think about it. Sure, lay head.
Oh,
ice cream
Amber.
cone.
Since I don't. Whatever you want.
Can I do Tom's head?
It's
on an
gonna
ice
be.
cream
It's gotta be
cone?
your
Yes.
favorite thing. What's
Okay.
your favorite?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Who did
yeah.
the ice
That's
cream
like
cone
Tim
with
Burton, but I
Scrimp
already
said?
got all
Was
that
it?
going
Did
on.
Scrimp draw that? or
Maybe
did
maybe
you?
I don't have a
Oh,
wrestling
Stitch.
tattoo, so maybe like a wrestling.
for the-
he did-
ice
he
cream
did.
Was it
cone.
for
He
the,
did it.
the Cupid doll? It was a
Maybe
Cupid
Stitch.
thing, wasn't
Stitch.
it?
You can get Stitch.
Yeah, but Scrimps did it as an ice cream cone of himself.
I do want to.
Yeah, yeah.
I do want to get a Stitch tattoo.
I would like the turducken of ice cream. I don't know how you do it. Maybe like
Figure
ice
it out.
cream cone
cream
inside
cone?
a cup, inside like an ice cream sandwich of sorts.
Oh.
Very
I don't know how you do it, but you could do it.
What would you get?
Okay, let me think real quick. Did you go?
You gotta
I
come in
said
a little bit
Stitch.
here. I do want a Stitch tattoo as well. I love Stitch.
I know. It's so cute.
An ice cream cone. What would I get? What should I get?
Whatever you want.
That's your thing.
The world is your oyster.
That could be like your big thing, like that. Like
Just ice cream cones.
yeah.
I love it.
I don't know. Let me think about it for a second.
See, nobody let
we
me
can't have
think.
silence. No, but you've thought. Now it's your turn, and while you're
Well, I did. I said Tom's head.
oh,
Tom
Tom
said.
said.
Do you have? Does everyone have like a pop culture type thing that everyone's super into? Like, is there something like obviously Harry Potter? You have a little bit of everything. You're like
I
you're
like Tim Burton a lot.
Tim Burton, wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie's a little bit more in the wrestling than I am. Slowly understanding.
Yeah, but you get really mad if he goes to shows and you can't go.
Well, yeah.
I watched. I'm not like a huge like wrestling viewer or whatever.
Yeah.
But it
love
was
it.
like on TV on I think Christmas Day,
Yes.
And I was watching
SmackDown.
TV with my daughter. It was like after whatever else was on, and I feel like she has like never seen wrestling. She was just like it blew her mind. She's like, what the hell? What's going on right now? What the hell is this?
My favorite wrestling moment, and maybe if you guys are old school fans, you remember this. So there was a character called Jake the Snake Roberts,
Oh yeah.
and
See, you understood.
and for the
documentary.
yeah, for the most part, he always had like pythons. Now, as a kid, I was always kind of scared of snakes. I still am. Like, if you brought a snake in here, I'd run. I'm not gonna lie, I'd run.
Run?
Yeah, I don't like snakes. They freak me out. But like I think psychologically it scares me more with snakes is because grown ass men who I seen as like the first ever superhuman superheroes I've ever like were wrestlers, and then he would come in with a snake and like a 7 foot tall Andre the Giant would fucking book it. So like psychologically, I'm like they're the scariest things on planet Earth.
Because wrestling is 100% real.
It is 100% real. It's just scripted, but everything in between those ropes happens.
So real.
I did like that. Like I don't, like people still watch wrestling.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
I was like the era of when I was a kid, like the old Hulk Hogan era. I did watch pretty faithfully. Back
Oh
then.
yeah, me too.
So Jake the Snake wrestles my favorite wrestler, who is the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
And in that match, Macho Man gets his arms tied up in the ropes, and then Jake goes over and pulls a snake out of his bag, but it's not a python. It is a fucking cobra. King Cobra, which going to school and reading those, remember those animal almanac books? Like they were like
Almanacs,
magazines, and they would break down every animal, and they're like, I remember reading it like Cobra, you're fucking dead if it bites you. Like, no pass go, you're dead. So this snake just starts eating Macho Man's arm, and as a kid, I'm like, he's dead. I'm like,
Actually,
I'm 6 years
I
old.
think they spit at you.
I am crying. I'm just like a little kid, bawling my eyes out, telling my parents how I'm going to. I was young, like 5 or 6.
Okay, I can see that.
Teen.
Yeah, teen. Crying and telling my telling my mom and dad.
Just the other day, I was watching it.
Well, just recently he was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and they kind of told the story behind the curtain. And before they even hit the rope, because Macho Man was paranoid that they were actually going to try to kill him because listen, if I'm the champion, you're going to get me. You know what I mean? Like he was like Can
you do the rest of this?
As Macho Man?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I cannot do it. But
Did you ever hear the Macho Man rap album?
yes.
Oh yeah, that's
And
great.
about how he hates Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
It's great.
Be a man, Hogan.
Yeah.
Can you give us a couple lines?
Don't be scared. That's what he says. And then he says something else.
Hogan.
That doesn't rhyme.
Well, there's like another rhyme, then it does rhyme after that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
It takes some time.
I just remember we used to,
always rises from the cream.
when I was in a band and we did tours, we would always listen to the Hulk Hogan album but like the Hulk Hogan album was like older, so it was like really crude and just hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, like 1 minute Hulk's rapping, the next minute it's like a country song.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Macho Man album was like a serious rap album or whatever.
Yeah, he was dropping bars.
But like in his voice. And the best part is when he's like giving a shout out to his friends and he's like, this one goes out to Tad. It's just really funny.
This goes out to my boy Ric Flair.
He's still in wrestling.
We were still in wrestling.
Yeah, we're talking about Macho Man's rap
You're
album,
missing it.
Oh man.
but yeah, we'll quickly go away from that. But like, pop culture
dude,
stuff. Like, what are you guys into?
I don't know, pop culture stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, if you're not doing your art, like movie, TV, like, is there something that you're like that's your thing, like your obsession?
I don't know. Man. You're gonna have to skip me and go to someone else.
Why? You actually have all these obsessions.
Yeah. What would my
I don't have
obsession be? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Like,
Give us the rundown, dude. You got them all.
it's not sport. Obviously, it's not sports.
No, not
You kind of
sports.
like Star Wars, right? Like,
Yeah, but I don't know if I'd say I'm like.
I feel like superheroes and comics.
I
in
mean, I
general-
collect
comic books.
I collect
You're a
comic books. Yeah.
Is there a comic book that you like that you favorite more than others? Like, if like you still get
I mean,
that
like,
run.
growing up, it would have been Sandman, which is one of my favorite comics of all times. Man, I don't know, man. Like I'm really into. I mean, I read a lot, but I don't know. I don't know.
Are you more of a comic book or a graphic novel?
More of a graphic novel guy, but I mean, I
I
No
don't think this is true.
way. No.
Watson likes every nerd thing. He's
Yes.
obsessed with movies, like how people are, or whatever, right?
Oh yeah,
be
come on.
honest.
Yeah, but-
Are you down?
Star
Are you
Wars.
downplaying your
I would
nerdom to
say
me,
comic-
Johnson?
The comic book thing more because
He likes Star Wars and Marvel movies like everyone.
Yeah,
likes.
I like them, but I'm not like. I mean, I like them. Yeah. Like I'm not like passionate about them. I don't think. Oh, come on.
Ready?
we need like a truthometer right now?
I do like Star Trek. Star Trek's cool.
Star Trek or Star Wars? What's your favorite?
I like Star Trek a little bit better than Star Wars, only because of Jar Jar Binks. Just like
One character ruined the whole franchise.
one, I mean, just let it, yeah.
That's true. Jar Jar Binks ruined that, but you liked all those 80s Star Wars movies?
What's a Trek?
I mean, they were kind of cheesy.
Star Trek.
80s one?
Star Trek or whatever.
Yeah, but that, that was okay.
Star Trek and Star Wars are the same thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, get out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sure.
See, he almost got mad. That's
I did not get mad. No.
He's slow. He's trying to
Watson
downplay his
does
nerdom.
have a bizarre obsession with William Shatner, though.
Oh yeah.
So we can talk about that.
Do you think he killed his wife?
What?
William Shatner.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
She was found dead in a pool or something.
He would have never done that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he wouldn't be able to act. So he'd tell,
Yeah.
like, so he probably didn't do it.
I think.
Oh my god, I
think
can't
he
believe
could
she
do it.
is in the pool
I think he's
dead.
I think he like kind of just. I think he plays the role.
I think he got
Of
Chris
Shatner,
Benoit to do
you know
it.
what I mean? I think he's
Chris Benoit.
Yeah, they're both Canadian. I think he got him.
Oh,
I think he do it,
another
yeah.
wrestling reference. He said Chris Benoit killed his
okay.
wife.
Oh yeah.
When he said Canadian, I thought he was talking about Alex.
Craziest suicide of all time. Chris Benoit,
Oh yeah.
a Bowflex.
What?
Pulled the Bowflex down, put it on the heaviest pin, around the neck, let it go.
Jesus.
That is
Damn, that's
crazy.
epic.
Yeah, that's a way to go. That's like as a kid, you ever put a Bowflex in the top pin
Are there any
then-
conspiracy theories
and like
about,
four
like,
of your
someone
cousins
ki-
pull it
are there
down, and
any
then one, the
conspiracy
skinny one,
theories
right? That was me.
About it, like about people killing him or anything? Like,
There's a conspiracy.
like
that,
Benoit knew too much.
there is a conspiracy that Benoit
Oh.
was murdered and his family was murdered. Yeah.
For
There's
what?
a conspiracy theory about Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell uncovering some pedophile ring, and that's why they're both dead.
Yeah,
I've heard of that
I
one.
read that one.
I've not heard that.
Yeah.
My favorite,
Like
my
some
favorite one is the
really-
fake Paul McCartney.
Like they were these like
Pedophile.
crazy detective guys who were
Like they were about to uncover.
They were
this
about to
pedophile
find.
ring.
They were about to find Epstein's sex pedophile island or something, and then they're all dead from it.
like rich people pedophiles. Like
Chris Cornell's ghost killed Epstein.
Oh, okay, like
Ooh,
revenge.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Gotcha. Oh, cool.
Like back from the dead, got him. In my heart, I want to believe that happened.
He's not actually dead.
Who Epstein?
The thing about conspiracy theories, though, is
Cornell.
like, for instance, like the thing that's kind of replaced Epstein momentarily is like the Kevin Spacey thing, because like three of the people that accused him have all died.
Oh, really?
And like on
didn't
one
know- I
hand,
didn't
you're
know
like,
that.
"Oh, I'm like a normal
What was your
person.
conspiracy?
I don't like believe in weird stuff or whatever. But then you're just like, damn, like all three died.
what are
Like,
the odds of that?
like
But
that's
that-
kind of weird, right? Like you're just like,
What is he, a Clinton?
right?
Have you
Don't
seen House
say
of
that around
Cards?
Tom. Don't get him started.
Yeah.
Loves the Clintons. I mean, you don't have to hate them, Tom, but love them.
It's because Bill's a saxophone player. I love those surly tunes.
Oh no.
But I mean,
Regarding-
on a serious note, though, do you see what I'm saying? Though, like,
Yeah.
you're just like
I didn't know
like,
anything
all
about
three?
the whole.
What was your-
Regarding Kevin Spacey, though, I thought the craziest thing that, like, when it all came out was like, because it was him, and then it was
It was like rapid
CK,
fire.
and then someone else, and like they all came out and apologized, right?
Right.
Except for Kevin Spacey was like, "Yeah, it could have happened. I was like doing a lot of drugs and drinking at the time."
Did he? Say,
It's like, what do you mean? Like it could have happened? Like you could have came on
That's
to
what
like
I'm
a
saying.
12-year-old boy. Like it was totally.
Well, what's it?
Kevin Spacey holds the dead man switch. You know what I mean?
Well, who was the one that was going around? The one of the Coreys was going around, and he was like telling everyone like I was being molested by all these people, like as a child actor. The Feldman was it?
yeah.
Corey Feldman?
Oh, yeah, I did hear
And
about
everyone's like, "You're crazy." He's like usually that's what happens. Every time you're speaking truth, you're like, "This guy's a little crazy. Let's get on him." This guy's nuts.
What does Joe Rogan think?
I don't know. Have you ever do that? Did you ever do it on DMT? It's-
How, DMT? Yeah.
yeah, everything's DMT. You ever done DMT, bro?
Seriously, Tom, have you done it?
Crazy.
Oh, okay. Neither have I.
What? Done DMT?
Yeah.
I would not be able to handle hallucinogenics.
You don't do DMT, Chuck. DMT
It does you.
yeah.
So you've asked us all about our favorite things. What's your favorite podcast since you're a podcaster?
I
You
like
can
a
say your own. That's
I like a local one called Murder My Dude. I'm a really big fan of those guys.
Murder My Dude.
I've
They
seen
do
the,
like a true crime. They'll do like a topic every week, and they'll like break down the story, but they're kind of humorous with it as well.
Is it murder, my dude?
So they're from Philly, so it's like everything's my dude, like how they do it in like a Philly. So it's murder,
Right.
my dude.
That John.
Yeah, exactly. But like they start the show off and they do like This Week in Murder, and they'll talk about like stuff that's popular in the news, but they're not like making light of it. Like obviously they're legit people died, and they're very sensitive to that, but they do add somewhat humor to it as well. So it's not like they're super, and it's not like a podcast where it's like, we think this serial killer's so cool and that's why we're covering it. Like, no, they're like, no, they're pieces of shit. They legit took human lives. So it's not that type of podcast either where people like idolize a serial killer, which is kind of weird. But they're really good, and they're out of Pottsville, originally from Philly, but now they're out of Pottsville. I like that one a lot. I like the one for The Office. The Office Ladies.
Yes.
That one's really good.
The Office Ladies is the name of it. That's good.
It's two of the women from The Office, and they're going through each episode and like
telling you behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. And I mean, I like Joe Rogan a lot, but he's doing a lot more than he used to, so it's really hard to keep up because he's like 4 or 5 hour podcasts. So and it's hard to,
Which is what this is, right?
I mean, it can't. I mean,
we're getting there.
an hour and 45. We're gonna wrap up here soon, but yeah. But I don't like 4 hours is. I've done a 3 hour one once or twice. That's only because the
You're doing
guest
a good
forced
job,
it.
bud. I think you have plenty to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, I appreciate it. But as we're wrapping up here, what do you guys have? Are you guys going to plug or talk about, like things you want to get out there for the shop, or?
I mean,
Yeah, I feel like we only just talked about stupid movies or whatever that I hate.
did you hate?
But
You don't like Star Trek?
All time.
No, it's just.
But I think people.
We forgot to go into. You were asking Watson about all of his nerd shit he was into.
that he was
he
downplaying
didn't
completely.
once mention Molly Ringwald. Ringwald? What's her name? You love all those '80s movies.
Oh, the Brat Pack movies.
Yeah, they're great. 16 Candles, one of the best movies ever.
Molly Ringwald,
Breakfast Club is my
Sacramento
favorite.
native.
Yep.
I'm a Breakfast Club.
I met Molly Ringwald.
You met her.
Yep.
So I
Very
didn't
briefly.
realize how many movies that guy actually wrote that he didn't direct. Yeah, the guy who wrote all the Brat Pack movies, he wrote like for that whole genre of time, he wrote so many movies, but he didn't direct them all. Like he did Home Alone. What was the other one? Didn't he do Footloose? Or he helped something with Footloose, like he helped produce it.
Footloose
so
was a
giddy
good
right
movie.
He is.
Like yeah, he did.
I'm a nerd for 80s movies.
Yeah,
That's what I'm a nerd
it's a
for.
great series of movies. I mean,
Look at him.
If you're on Netflix, you should check out The Movies That Made Us.
Lighten up like
Oh.
a Christmas tree.
Really?
Yeah, I've started watching that.
It's really cool, and they have the movies that made us and the toys that made us,
The
Toys That Made Us?
Yeah.
and the movies that made us. Yeah,
Is that a television program?
it's on Netflix. Yeah,
series.
yeah.
Do they do good toys or like?
The first episode's the wrestling toys. Second one's Ninja Turtles.
Do they do GoBots? Remember
The
GoBots?
first season was Transformers.
No, they don't, or no, you don't remember them.
I don't remember.
They did Transformers, and they talked about GoBots with the
Oh,
Transformers.
they talked about it.
He-Man, they did Star Wars.
He-Man's a good one.
Yeah. I can't remember what else they did. Yeah, it was a good show.
Wasn't there like a My Little Pony?
My Little
one?
Ponies, yeah, Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I skipped those. So.
No, you didn't.
No, you did not.
I did.
Of course he did.
You
Old
brony,
sailor, you.
you brony.
that's
We figured it out.
I just want to wind down with a little strawberry shortcake.
What was it on Care Bears? That was big in the '80s.
Yeah.
But like, come on, who watched that?
I didn't watch Care Bears.
Well,
I did.
it was the toys that made us, not the shows that made us. The toys did quite
Cabbage
well.
Patch
They're
Kids.
toys.
I'm sorry,
Oh my
did you
God.
play with Care Bears?
No, but they got a lot of love, So
He
like
still sleeps with
they're
one.
good examples for children.
What's your favorite Care
Which
Bear?
one?
I don't really have. I don't know the difference.
Care Bears is more
What do they have
'80s,
on-
right?
Does one have like a strawberry? Like
Probably.
strawberry shortcake?
I don't.
No,
think
that was a
so.
different.
Or are they like rainbows and suns and moons and
What
such?
was
One has a
next?
heart.
Those are all
Are
correct.
they like moon?
Okay.
And they go like that.
the heart? Obviously.
heart,
And it was a heart. The only ones I remember was a heart and a rainbow.
And
I'm
a
only
sun and a
asking
moon.
because every time I say it, he'll
There's a storm
go
cloud
into
one
more
and you
detail
can
about the
say,
one
oh,
guy.
See, like
He's
so,
like,
I
no, they had this.
No, that one had purple and sparkles.
I was late '80s, so I was more in the '90s than the late '80s. So like I remember in the '90s, the big thing was the trolls. Remember the trolls with the little jewels in their belly
I
buttons?
thought they were weird. I
Yeah,
thought
they were
weird.
creepy.
Is that a show too?
It
Oh,
might
they
have
had a
been.
show?
It might have been. It had everything like
The troll dolls were like from the 70s.
trolls and teeny Beanie Babies were huge.
Teeny beanie babies.
Teeny Beanie Babies. And then every cartoon was getting a reboot, like in the 90s. So it was like
Honestly, so
Muppet
the toy
Babies,
thing
Tiny Toons.
and the comic book thing together, right? Like I wasn't like a huge comic guy, but like I think all kids and teenagers like buy comics, right? And I really liked Ninja Turtles, like far before it was like a TV show.
Oh yeah,
The comics were actually
Eastman
very
and Laird,
graphic.
like-
yeah, they're good.
Like the original guys, I think it was Eastman and Laird. They were
Yep.
really good. And then every now and then they'd have a special issue done by Vaughn Baudet, who was also like who I kind of knew about just because he was like huge in the graffiti scene. Like a lot of graffiti characters were based on Mark Baudet characters, his father. If I'm getting those two right,
Aren't they really fancy toilets, Baudet?
No, that's a bidet.
Cleans your butt.
So, but like it was like junior high by the time they came out with the cartoon.
Yeah.
And so, but when they had all the toys, I was like, oh yeah, they're like, I like the comics, so I was like, I'm gonna get the toys, right? But it was like nowadays, if you're an adult and you buy toys, it's like expected. Like all adults buy toys, you know, right?
When we go to Walmart,
But back then,
I
even
may
in
walk
junior
down the
high,
aisle.
people were like, oh, you're in junior high and you're buying a toy. What are you, like a fucking toddler or something? You know what I mean?
You're like, this is going to be worth money one day. You wait and see. And they were right.
Yeah, they were right.
And I wish I would have saved all that crap.
I was.
All your pogs.
Oh my God.
Did
I
you pogs?
wish I had my pogs. I had awesome pogs.
Did you have some sweet slammers?
I did. I had really
Pogs
good
didn't come out
slammers.
until like long after I was.
Yeah, I was in like past college when those
Right,
things
yeah, that's
came
like
out.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
loved
six
pogs.
Dungeons and Dragons.
I think it's timeless, man. That game is,
I didn't know that adults played Dungeons and Dragons until I moved here to Pine Grove.
Get out of here.
Do you know some
I'm
adults
not-
that play it here?
Yes. I'm not trying
Would you ever try to play it?
I'm not trying to diminish Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's very charming that you guys play it.
Charming.
What he means by charming is it's super cute.
But Watson's
Hey,
like,
thanks, man.
oh, we're going to play Dungeons and Dragons like this. I go, like, what? Like they did in the 80s? I didn't know. So, listen, now Dungeons and Dragons is having like a huge comeback because of Stranger Things.
Stranger
And
Things
there's-
did help.
There's
absolutely.
like whole podcasts dedicated to it. But to me, it was like something that we did in like, I don't know, like 82 or something.
There's
You
a
know?
podcast
and I
where
didn't
it's
know
all
like people
celebrities
still
playing.
were into that sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. It's huge.
And like Watson's like explaining it to me and how he plays with like, I don't know, like dozens of other people his age. or whatever.
Dozens. Not dozens.
Sorry. I mean,
Yeah.
we're at the hitting the table point in the, you know.
Yeah, Tommy Lee over here is going crazy. I have the whole.
I'm not trying to diss it. I'm not against it. I think
have
it's
the
cool.
whole- I have
And
the whole hot for
to
teacher.
answer your question, yes, I would absolutely try it. I
Yeah.
would play the Dungeons and
I've never
Dragons.
played it, but I would
I
try
would
it.
play the shit out of that game.
The dungeons and
I never tried it, but I will. I never played it, but I would try it.
I'll try anything
Like
once
the
or twice.
Yeah, yeah. There's some nerdy things that I always joked around about that I said I would never do, and then I did it one time, and I go back every time, like the Renaissance Fair. I made fun of that forever,
What?
and
You're
I love
Dip
it.
into-
I went one time, and I would do it. I would go every year if I had the opportunity. It's so much
I
fun.
love the Renaissance Fair. I would live there.
Yeah.
Everything that you've talked about.
It
is
is like
kind
when
of
I gotta
nerdy.
tell you that I
Watson
used to
has
work
his
there.
own tent.
Let
at
me
the
tell
Ren
you.
Fair.
I didn't have my own tent, but I did used to work there at the Ren Fair, by the way.
What'd you do? Did you have to dress up like a I don't know, Robin Hood? or
You would
something?
be a great shop teller at a Renaissance Fair. You have a
was a
shop
squire.
teller.
Were you like a
Squire?
wood sprite?
I was just a squire. I was selling flowers.
He's been a maiden once or twice.
Did you
Did
have
you
to
wear
talk?
the tights?
Did you have
And
to,
a
I had to wear
wench.
tights,
Watson.
yeah.
The curly shoes?
Did you talk in like a Renaissance voice?
I did, but I can't do it anymore. So
Oh, I keep getting the thing.
That's all right. You're
Come
good.
on, give us one.
no, because they actually gave us these this is we had tapes back when I did it, so we had
Tapes?
a tape, record stuff on.
Oh, a cassette
And-
tape.
A cassette tape, and
Okay.
they, I had to actually practice.
Tramps.
I didn't know they had those in the Renaissance era.
Well,
Yeah, have a beer, please.
they did.
It's so much fun. I have a blast.
Oh yeah.
Give us a little,
Although,
give
wait,
us a
you know
little
what?
taste.
Yeah, give us a taste, and then I will do this, and then I will do the same, Watson.
We're gonna
No,
be here for like
no,
another 2
I'm
hours.
not gonna do it.
Come
Because I was
on.
going to say the one
Could be
thing I
that.
did like about The Witcher
I'm cool with it.
was
is
that they
normal.
they do that song and it's in Renaissance voice.
Oh yeah.
Tip a coin to your Witcher.
How does it go?
God.
But now I can put Watson's face to that voice.
Oh my God, yes.
Like, a flower for my lady.
Oh wait, did they ever bring any
bring
signs?
the sign?
Yes, I'm bringing the sign.
Yes,
Let's
okay.
bring in the sign.
Sign.
Turn the camera.
Sign.
Don't hit the camera. What are you doing?
Trying to go around things. Okay.
Amber, hard at work.
We took a lot of. Where does the sign go when it's in?
Podcast, it's
To
going to
the
be like
back.
table thumps, Amber's foot
Like, who the
noises.
fuck are these guys?
I'm shocked you haven't closed the door behind her. But you didn't want the sign in the house, so
Yeah, me and Tom spent a lot of time making this sign, and it would be a shame if somebody took it.
Meth heads.
Tom, which part did you do?
It'd be a shame if
The
meth
button?
heads took it.
Meth heads, yeah.
No button.
Because Tom, it's cute as a button.
It's just gonna live here for like right now.
That's not where it goes.
It's on there.
That's not no friends here when it comes to the sun.
Are you coming in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just stay there. I'm just gonna crawl like I did before. I gotta clean the couch anyway.
Watson made up a Renaissance song about you.
Oh yeah.
I did?
What is this little hammer thing back here?
This?
Oh.
Yeah.
This is a Buddhist prayer wheel.
Do not pick it up. Do not.
It looks
Pick it up.
super fragile, don't it? Yeah. You'll have
Yeah,
to-
it's not together correctly.
Oh, you
anymore.
didn't put it back? Yeah, it's easy to put together.
It's-
I'll do it.
Okay. Yeah.
So what is it used for?
It's used for like praying. Yeah, praying. Like when you do mantras.
Is that like what kind of like when the priests go around they shake the smoke out?
No, it's
Have you ever seen The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy?
No.
It's like that.
yeah. There's
No,
a piece on there that'll spin
You've
it.
only seen nerd movies and no good 80s movies?
I haven't seen that.
No,
either.
you haven't seen that?
I've seen a lot of 80s movies, but I don't remember the
Golden
Golden
Child.
Child.
Such a good movie.
I watched Coming to America.
Remember that?
I do remember that part. Yeah.
I watched Eddie Murphy Raw and Delirious.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I feel
well, we
like
were
you
just
can pick
watched
it up, so
Dolomite is My Name. That was really good.
That was
on,
good.
on Netflix. Big fan of that genre of movies. So, but anyway,
Raw was the best. I
Raw.
love
Oh,
Raw.
yeah, Eddie Murphy
Yeah.
Raw.
A lot of people say Delirious, but I do like Raw better. Yeah.
They were both good.
What was your favorite bit from that?
Come on, dude.
Are you trying to get me
Come
kicked
on.
off YouTube?
Trying to get you canceled, Anthony.
Cancel.
Cancel culture.
Happen?
How many beers are all those
Whoa.
5 beers yours?
Oh, they're mine and Tom's.
Tom's helping.
Okay,
But
man.
Chuck does look like an alcoholic right now.
I
No,
know.
I've only had 4 beers.
Same.
I've had 3.
They're loggers.
They're lagers. They go down pretty easy.
Right. And don't you have another podcast about drinking beers?
I do. Yeah, these beers are nothing. I'm used to like. I'm
Hello,
Used to
invite.
like, yeah.
Ah,
100%. Amber has been on Banging Beers.
Yes.
I will be back to drinking beers
what it's
like
called,
in 2
banging
weeks.
beers?
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I'll
Yeah.
come back.
It-
I'll
we-
back
We
well-
should totally do it.
What we can
But
do
with
is
just me and Tom.
what we can do is
Wait. What about me?
I'm just joking. Come on, it's a hot
Fuck
take.
Watson.
It's a hot take.
what we can do is we can bring a Banging Beers episode here.
I think that would be awesome.
Let's do it.
We can bring a Banging
Absolutely.
Beers
Since
episode
this
here.
interview wasn't even about tattooing, we might as well.
There was some in there. There was some tattooing in there.
Yeah,
We'll
you
just
know,
do all tattoos on the next one.
Yeah, on the beer one, we'll just
Get drunk and tattoo
I mean, we
people.
talked about beers on this one. Sorry, I just hit you like just randomly. Like,
My pip hand strong.
Just for the record,
I'll tell you about Dungeons.
we do
and
not
Dragons.
condone hitting
Front of
women
me.
in the shop.
No,
yeah, sorry.
No.
very sorry.
I
That's in.
Unless they
It's
deserve it.
women.
I swatted her. I'm sorry.
deserve it.
Canceled. He almost touched my boob. Got dangerously close to my boob.
Wow.
Sorry.
Canceled.
I can't even
Done.
believe this is happening right
The
now.
best part is we're clearly joking, but he's uncomfortable about it. He's like, oh my god.
Just like, ugh.
You know how I know that didn't happen? Because Kira would probably fucking house you.
Yeah, that is true.
Can you imagine?
Just
just
choke
like,
slams him
we
through the
can't.
Just
table.
like stands up right on your knees and just starts pummeling on the top of your head.
Come at you like a spider monkey.
Chuck just laughs. He doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
No, it'd be great. Chris is just over there crying because he's been beaten like that.
like I know.
He's like, listen, man, I don't know how to get her off.
You mean Strips McGee?
But I feel like
Chris, like, I
if it
can't
gets-
help, but I feel your pain.
I feel if it gets to the point where if Kira starts hitting someone and Amber's in the room, she's killing people too. Like
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, it's going down.
it'd be like a World Star video. She'd be like, "Oh, Kira's fighting."
I'm ready.
I'm going.
Taking her shoe off.
Yeah, take over
No,
glasses. Get
give it
ready.
the people's elbow, man.
Yep,
Right in there.
biting people. It'd be great. But yeah, so stuff to look forward to for the shop. Obviously, you have your
Yeah, I mean,
art show.
Yeah, art show. I mean, we're always just going to do the best.
What is the best way people can book for a tattoo?
Call
Get a hold of
Amber.
Amber.
They get a hold of Amber. So Amber, what do you say? Facebook, Instagram.
Facebook's best.
Facebook's best, but obviously some people don't have
Come in.
Facebook.
Come into the shop.
Um,
Come sleep.
yeah,
with
just
Jesus.
call.
We didn't even say
You're gonna list all of our social medias
Yep,
on this.
so just- yeah, just-
so we all have Facebooks, Instagrams, follow us.
But don't try to
Look at our
book
stuff.
through your personal ones. Hit up Amber.
I mean, you can reach out
Yeah,
to
you
us
can
and
reach
talk
out.
with
Yeah,
us,
absolutely.
but once it gets to the point where you're ready to set up an appointment,
It's gonna go.
we'll have you contact
Cool.
the shop for that.
Awesome. Yeah, I will get all that information. You guys can check. I definitely recommend. I follow so many tattoo pages. I like because I just like it. I like people's art. I like that kind of stuff. But yeah, we'll put all that in. The shop is located. We didn't even talk about it in Pine Grove.
Yep, Pine Grove.
Oh yeah. Let's get back to
We just
that.
went for it.
Pennsylvania.
Pottsville, Pottsville. Pine
Tulpahawken
Grove.
is a turtle, Kira. I don't know if you knew that.
Is it?
Tulpahawken
Is
is
it
not
really?
It's right across. You could probably see
You
it on
don't know
camera.
this? You
Right
live here?
across from the VFW
I know
not-
all about stuff.
At the only red light.
at the only red light.
I have been learning Pennsylvania Dutch. I mean, that's
Do one.
no, I don't want to do
Give
it.
us something.
Come on.
You can't be all braggadocious and not give it to us.
We don't
Like
believe you.
Okay, Kannst du mich funga?
What did that
What is
mean?
that?
Can you catch flies?
Yeah.
Can you catch flies?
Yeah, not particularly useful, but you know.
I just say, what would that come in
I
handy?
only know English Pennsylvania Dutch, like out in the lights or.
Oh, the
Oh,
Don't beat
she's-
your wife.
Remember Tom? Oh, she's nice in the face.
like whoever said that? Did somebody say that to him?
Dude, I have a listen.
Keep going.
Dude, listen to the professor.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little
Give me
proud
another
that
one.
you remembered that.
Give me another one.
What's that?
I'm proud you remembered that.
Yeah, yeah.
Walk in the town.
Fucking-
Once now.
Once now.
yeah, that's a.
When my friends came from New York to Pennsylvania, they're like, dude, why is ain't said so frequently? Like, ain't dude. That was like their big thing, like ain't dude, ain't like they
Yeah.
always make fun of it. Or like the one time we were out somewhere and they're like, the one guy's like, "What'd you do this weekend?" He's like, "Oh, I shot a buck up Sheppin." And they're like, "What is that?" Like, and I was like, "Shepton is a town, and shooting a buck is a deer." And they're like, they had because they're from New York, they don't hunt. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I shot a buck up Shepton, dude. And they're like, and they looked
know
at
what
each
a
other.
buck was?
Yeah, well, they don't like.
Not when it's in a sentence like that.
Yeah,
They-
there
they
was
were-
like
what?
Western.
They were born and raised in Southside Jamaica, Queens. Like, so deer were not something they've
Yeah.
ever seen. Like, they
This is
came
like
up.
the premise of the song "The Country Boy Can't Survive." You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was funny though. There was, like for like the 4 years they're here, they're just like, man, you guys say some fucking weird
I
shit.
mean, when I was young, and we used to go up to the diner or the truck stop up the street, and you just hear like all the old guys just talking nothing but PA Dutch.
Didn't Pine Grove used to have like a truck rest stop that got shut down because like weird shit was happening there?
It's still there.
Oh, no, it's still happening, dude.
It's
You can
still
go hang out
going.
there.
No. We used to have.
Like what kind of weird stuff?
I want to know.
Like
Watson, fill
I
us
think
in.
you're talking about.
glory holes and shit.
No, you're talking about the rest station or the arrest
those
area
weird?
Yeah.
off of 81.
I thought
Like-
everything
Yeah.
goes these
You don't
days.
use
but now
glory holes?
we did actually have a.
Are you like a bigot? You don't like glory hole sex?
We
Are
used
you
to have a
afraid of who's
porno.
on the other side?
Yeah, I thought they taught that in kindergarten now as sex ed or whatever.
We used to have a pornographic drive-in theater in Pine Grove.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
Is there
pornographic
anything,
drive-in theater.
Yeah,
Is there
yeah.
anything
the
in this
real.
shop right now that's from that?
Oh yeah. I have a reel from our old
And those are
pornographic
from
drive-in
the- so
theater.
they're on the TV.
There's porn in that?
No, well, there was at one point in time. Yeah, yeah.
you know-
I mean,
The
obviously
other
not now.
ones are on the
Tipsy,
TV.
Oh yeah, we have a.
Watson wore that thing right off the reels.
Whoop, whoop.
Now this was actually before my time, or it probably
Yeah, notice there's no film in it. He took the film.
there was never any film in it.
Yeah.
The reel-to-reel machines at
Could
his
you
house.
imagine
Yeah.
pulling up at a drive-in and just looking over the car
Actually,
next to you? You're like,
The real machine is actually at the Mahoney Drive-In. That's they got that.
You having a good
The
time?
real machine.
I'm having a good time.
this is awesome.
Watson took the film because he was like, I really miss 70s Bush.
Here's my question: how long does someone stay at a porn and drive-through?
Oh,
Like,
dude.
nowadays with like your
I think
phone,
they just call that
you-
Barbara.
nowadays with your phone, you could be in and out.
What?
You could be in and out in a 5-minute clip. Like, so you mean like imagine you drive like 45 minutes.
What do you mean?
Like if you're watching porn on your phone.
You can do that?
Oh,
Yeah,
What?
In your car?
but I'm saying if like
Anywhere.
back in the day, like you drive like 25 minutes to a drive-in outdoor porn theater, and you're there like 3 minutes. You're like,
Done.
Yeah, like what do you do after that?
And then after you get the Game of Thrones,
Well, then you go to
get
the
the
81
poison
rest
out.
stop.
You get the poison out, and you're like, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, but I assume you pay money to get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming so. I
So you
don't know.
probably wait till you get another boner.
It was always double feature.
trying to
get-
It was always
Sorry.
a double feature. They'd have the titles on the.
But what do you
as
do in your
went
car? You're like, I hope this is a good premise.
You eat,
Again, something Watson
I'm here
knows
for the
way
story
too much
now.
about.
you eat your popcorn.
You're like, I have a clear head. I got all
Like, I don't
that.
know if you remember this, but actually it was a double feature. It was like 4 fucking hours of porn.
Yeah,
And if you stay for the second
5
credits
cents.
at the end,
people just had more stamina back then. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Do you think porn? Like, what if porn came back, but they did like Marvel end scene credits to keep people there? Like the segue the next
Oh,
porn.
like to see what's gonna.
yeah, like Iron Man makes his return at the
No,
end
but
of the
they're like
credits.
more like they're like non sequiturs, right? Like it's just like a cut scene, but like remember it's like it's gonna be like the porn actress just chilling and making like kind of like a joke or something.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Like
Like
you-
deadpan to the camera.
You fucking pig. And you're like, I hate my life. And then that happens. I gotta get out of here. I just couldn't imagine. Because, like, once you get that out of your system, you get clear conscious again. You're like, you get out of that trance, you're like, what did I fucking do? I gotta get out of here. I'm in a fucking drive-in. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
did
I
I
mean,
do?
I would just imagine that it would be really weird.
You're like,
Like everybody in the
every
car.
car around me is jerking off.
You know everyone's beating.
When I was a kid, when I was like 15, my 15 and 16, my buddy's grandparents owned a stone quarry behind the porn and drive theater, and we used to go back.
watch
and-
from the other side of the screen.
Yeah, well, no, I mean it was actually like you could see the full screen from the stone.
So you guys
quarry.
are up in the
yeah,
bushes
so we're
and
up,
the rocks.
like 15 years old, drinking 40s, watching.
not to be a jerk or anything, but most people weren't losers and going by themselves to those movies. They had a partner they went with.
Really, is that how it worked?
Yeah.
So they went with your wife,
How do you know?
our girlfriend.
Tom, is this? I don't.
We're all very concerned right now.
Everybody was concerned that like it's just one person in the car in every car.
Tom's like defending it.
Tom's
Tom's like, by the way,
Tom's like,
just
I
so
take my
you
wife
know.
to these things. Yeah. Watson's
Hello?
like, I jerked off back there when I was 15 with my
Honey.
dog.
I mean, I'm
put
pretty
on
sure
your
this
good
was
shoes.
pre-internet, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
This is
like, they're going there
this
learning
is like
new
the
moves.
70s, 80s, and 90s.
Could you imagine eating popcorn
I don't
after?
even know 90s.
You're
It might
like,
have been just 70s, 80s.
Popcorn.
Oh yeah.
all right.
Extra butter, please.
This is really.
Salty.
This is super.
Can I get the butter on the side?
Honey, why'd you put so much salt on this? I didn't.
So salty.
Oh, for lube. I see you did there. I was still on salty. Jerk off joke.
God. I feel like this podcast just like whoop.
This is it happens
It's
every
okay.
single.
We talk about tattooing tattooing is
jizz.
like such a big part of our lives that like we go home and then we do more tattoo shit and then we
Yeah,
like
yeah.
wake
Have you ever
up
tattooed a penis on somebody?
a penis on someone.
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
yes, he has.
But one time I did like a bloodline of a penis. But then
We literally just
Did you
I
hate the
just
person?
tattooed a guy that
I drew a penis. I did not.
Is there a
tattoo
penis in the gumball machine?
No.
There should be at least one in there.
I
That
mean,
would've been
somebody
funny.
might have put theirs in there at some point, but I don't know.
I didn't know.
There should be one drawing of a
Amber
penis
did.
in there.
First off,
Just one.
There's
That
one.
would be like a different
You get
gumball
that for
machine.
free.
That would be like the Russian roulette gumball machine. Like
No.
every tattoo's tight except for one.
That-
And if you get it, you have to do it.
But that one's free.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
you get your $100 back if you let us put this dick on you. Can I draw the
It's
dick?
the only one in the gumball machine that's photorealistic as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh no.
No takers. No takers on that.
No.
I was gonna put that one in.
Well, Watson's the only one that does like extreme realism in the shop, so
Yeah.
Extreme realism.
Tree.
When we say extreme, we mean like on the ball sack, it's gonna be like little glistening white dots
Right.
on every fucking
Yeah.
floor. You know what I mean?
extreme.
Extremely real.
Extreme.
Extreme.
But yeah, no, I
Have,
actually-
have you ever done a tattoo where you came in, they told you what they wanted, and you were like, "Are you fucking sure?" Yeah, have you ever had?
Yes.
yeah, I mean, you know.
All the time.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Every day.
There's certain warnings we give people, but like if they don't want to heed them, like ultimately it will just be like, all right, I give everyone that warning. You know?
Yeah,
What was the weirdest or worst one that you're like, man, I don't know if that should be a good idea?
Oh man, dude, I can't.
I had a lady who wanted her boyfriend's name and the date that they met. And the date
that's a
she
good one.
gave me was a month beforehand. And I was like, are you sure the year is right on this? And she's like, yes, wait. I'm going to go check my calendar at home. So she left to go check her calendar.
To make sure her and her boyfriend were together a month.
1 month, and came back. And she's like, that's the right date. That's the right year. And I was like, so you met him a month ago? And she's like, yes. So I tattooed this big thing on her ribs. It was like, what did it say? Like, always and forever or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And she loved it. And then she came back like 2 weeks later and got again on her wrist.
She really loved
And then we met and he got her name. And then they broke up and came back and got a cover up from Chuck. And I never saw her again.
So she never got covered up.
I don't think so.
Maybe she still loves you.
2 G's on her body
That
she met.
She's like, man, I hope my ex-boyfriend's name is
Yeah.
I'll ride this out a little bit.
I mean, some people just don't listen to you. Like,
Do you think
know?
she's gonna be on? You think she's gonna be on,
I mean, you
on
remember that?
YouTube? Do you think she listens to podcasts?
I mean, there was that one client. Remember that lady that hated me?
She was like,
Well, listen. Here's
Oh my god, yes!
This lady came in with this idea.
This woman.
Hated you?
Me and Watson
God,
were
yeah.
like a united front against this woman.
Was I not here?
No.
Oh, I think you were here.
No, not that day.
She
Not that
wanted
day.
a tattoo in like a really bad
She
location.
was a Karen. She came in,
What's the Karen?
just a difficult middle-aged white lady.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Does she have the short hair?
Shortish. She came in. She came in and she wanted a feather on her foot, which is fine, but she wanted it like around the back of her ankle, and it doesn't stay there.
Pure.
And she wanted color. And me and Watson were both like,
Bye,
that's
Tom.
not gonna stay. And we just had this whole long discussion with her, and finally she books the appointment. I have to do
She
it.
liked you. She didn't like. She
She didn't like me that
She
much,
didn't
but better
like
than
you
you.
that much
She
either.
was giving Watson tons of attitude. She's a little bit better with me.
And I was very nice because that's my approach.
And then she came back in, and I was sitting in the back. She couldn't see me, and she's like, Miss Kira Bishop did my tattoo, and the color just puked out of it.
And then I said,
And I came out, and Watson was already talking to her. And I came out, and she's like, well, my friends have foot tattoos, and their color didn't come out. And I was like,
I've only been doing this for 20 years.
yeah.
That's like she's like,
Well, I was like,
It was kind of funny though.
I was like, well, do your
'Cause
friends
her
have it in the
attitude
same spot?
completely changed
And she's
when
like,
Kira came out.
well, no. And then Watson's like, well, I've only been tattooing 20 years. What do I know? I just went back to what he was doing. And then she was like, well, I wanted to get a touch up. And we're like, okay, well, did you call us? And she's like, well, no, you guys were.
no, she was mad because she called. She's like, I called and no one answered.
Oh, that's right. And she's like,
And then I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
but
when
it's
did
you
you
guys
call?
were closed. You guys were closed when I called. And
Well,
we're
that's
like,
why no
okay,
one
we'll
fucking
call when
answered.
we're open. And then we're like, okay, well, we can book it now. And she's like, no, I just don't
remember
know
this
when
at
I'm
all.
working.
She
And
was,
and then we never
Oh,
saw her
really?
It was
again.
a Tuesday.
Just take the advice from your tattoo artist.
yeah,
Hey,
I was
that's-
really like, hey man, I was like, that area, the skin replenishes itself. It's always wearing.
like
doesn't stay
people
very
like to
well.
they want to get the palm of their
Yeah, it
hands.
would be
Right,
like
it
a
was
similar
like sort of
situation.
skin like
just
that.
doesn't stay. And she's like, well, I was told that it would stay. Blah blah blah. I'm like, hey,
By who?
Oh, she
Yeah,
was
that's
like, he
some
was like, are
bullshit.
your friends tattooers? And she's like, no.
Exactly.
yeah.
No, this has never happened to Tom, right? Because people adore us.
You weren't,
Well, yeah,
you
you
weren't
got-
here.
well,
It was just
my-
me, Amber, and Watson.
My cousin
cuddly,
would be
man.
like, I want to get this tattooed, and he'd be like, because at the time where he tattooed, Mark's tattoo was up the street, and he'd be like, oh, Mark's is up the street, and he'd like, you're not gonna tattoo me? No. And they're like, why? He goes, because when I tattoo this stupid thing on you, I'm gonna charge you double when you want to come back and get it covered. My cousin was a savage. He didn't care.
We are
He
always
was-
much nicer.
Yeah, he
but,
was not. He was not as nice as everyone here. But that was his charm. He'd be like, "Oh, you want to get your boyfriend's name?" He goes, "Cool, I'll do it." He goes, "But when you come back in 3 months, I'm charging you double to cover it, and I will remember."
Well,
or
it's going to have to be like 3 times as big. So yeah, you would charge.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would be actually double.
And then he would be like,
You could just not tell them that.
One of the biggest things he used to complain about too would be like, people would come in and they want to get like something written and like, can we pay by the letter and like get a session
what?
here and a session because they didn't have the full like. And
Well,
he's
they,
like,
they used to do that back in the day.
did they?
Was that a thing? I
Yeah,
didn't
but
know
they
that.
wanted to do like a payment plan. Like, can
Oh,
you
they
do
wanted-
the letter A today?
And then add on.
Yeah.
Classic.
I'd get like, it just depending on what it was. I don't know. If there's like AS, like I want asphalt, I'd be like, I'm gonna stop at ass.
How about half the A? Can we do half the A today?
And half the A?
How much for just one rib?
But yeah, stuff like that. But the cool thing is like, if you've seen my cousin, he doesn't look like someone who like knows Spanish, but he spoke Portuguese because he was like a foreign exchange student. So like when they would talk about him, he would know everything
he
they
would
were
know what
saying,
they're saying.
and he'd be like, yeah, you can head out now. I know you're sad. And they were like, what? But he was just I used to hang out there all the time, and he was a fucking savage. He's
People
like,
would come in and speak Portuguese about him?
in Spanish, but because Portuguese and Spanish are very similar, he would know what they were saying. Because he lived in Brazil for a little bit in high school.
Very cool.
Yeah. And he was funny. Like, if people come in like, I want to get this. And he's like, I'm not doing that. And they're like, why? He goes, because it looks shit like now. And you want me to recreate that shit, and you don't want me to change that shit, and then I put that shit on you, and then you tell people that you got that shit on you by me. You can go up the street. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I think we're actually pretty fortunate here, man. Like
Yeah.
I would say that like almost everyone that comes in is pretty.
It was like all
awesome.
walking traffic of Hazleton. So.
Yeah, it's different here. You know, like I think we have really good clients.
Or like
Except for that one lady that
Oh,
hated Watson.
yeah, she's mean. But everybody else has been
Can
really
you
nice.
tattoo the bottom of my foot and hope it stays forever?
Well, it was a side.
It was like
But-
the area we told her.
like we gave her warning, and she argued about our warning, and then
Not
when
going
it
to
came
make
up,
everyone happy.
No, yeah.
No.
And she came,
And if
she
it's
came in all
it's-
sassy.
But I do agree with like what you were saying about what your cousin does or whatever. Like, if it's like that bad, yeah, we can just be like, no, we won't do that here. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Because it comes down to you too. Like if someone brings in you this work, like a photo of, obviously it means something to you. But at the end of the day, like if you put that on your body, and then someone says, "Well, where did you get that art done?" and it wasn't the artist's art because you printed it off the internet, and you're like, "Oh, you know, he did it," and then he's like, "That's not my art." Like then you have to defend
Yeah,
yourself.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we're all professionals, and
Yeah.
and we love what we do, and we want to make sure that everybody leaves here with a good tattoo.
And that's what it comes down to. Like I said,
it's our job to
get
make
know
sure
your
that-
tattoo, like our artist. And
Yeah.
when you come in with that drawing, like, hey, I'm just gonna be honest, that drawing's not the greatest, but if you let me tweak it a little bit, I can make it look really good.
Yeah,
And
that's
most
pretty
people-
much.
And that's
most
where your
people
customer
understand
service
that,
comes
you
in.
know?
Your customer service comes in there.
And you know, that's the thing too, is like we've all been doing this long enough to know how to tell people that.
yeah,
You know
because
what
it's
I
all
mean?
like people who come in for their first tattoo ever, and they're like,
Yeah, they just don't know the reason. If you give them good reason, they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I get it."
100%,
They're
yeah.
fine.
yeah, maybe just that.
Except for that one lady. Every once in a while, I get a Karen, but it's really rare. That was like, what, 2 years ago? It was a long time ago.
yeah. I think about you.
Yeah.
Like you did a tattoo today where
Mm-hmm.
you did sunglasses, Elton John sunglasses. How did that process happen? Like, so they contact you, say, I want.
Yeah, she emailed me and was like, "Here's what I want."
Did she give you a photo of the glasses?
Yeah, she gave me. It was like from an album cover, so she sent me that, and she's like, "Just do what you want with it. Here's."
So you did your spin on it, your
Yeah.
cartoony spin.
Yeah, because she hit me up because she liked my stuff,
Yeah.
and then I showed it to her when she got here, and I was like, "If you want to make any changes, you can, but here it is." But she liked it, so we just.
I loved it. I thought it was cool looking.
Yeah.
It was definitely like it was
I did not
it was
see a final project.
it was you all day long. I'd never seen the album cover, but that was 100% your
Yeah,
tattoo.
and she like found me on Instagram. And was like, "I want you to do this because you're."
Where was she? Do you know where she was from? Was she local
Maryland.
or Maryland?
She said like near Baltimore.
So
yeah.
she came from Maryland to get that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
every once
cool.
in a while I get someone from far away. I'm like, "Oh, that feels pretty cool."
Oh yeah.
We actually, I mean, in general, we get a lot of people like our clientele isn't just Pine Grove. It's like
No, it's almost
all
like
over
I
the
would
place.
say like I don't know 20% Pine Grove. Like
Yeah.
it's from.
Well, here's the thing that I used to when I used to work with somebody, and it wasn't like a knock to artists, but she was like, "Oh, there's this one guy from Germany, and he's doing a guest spot in a place in Philly, and I'm going to go to the which is cool. Like if you're that into your artist and you've researched them, that's really cool. But I'm like, because a lot of people will be like. And it's a stigma, especially in Schuylkill County. And this is not a knock against other shops or other artists, but like a lot of people are like, oh, if you want to get a good tattoo, you definitely don't go to Schuylkill County. And I disagree. There are some amazing artists here. Like this shop is a great example.
Oh yeah, I
But
mean we
you
get a lot
gotta-
of people who do say like, "Whoa, we didn't know that this was here,"
because they think they have to go to New York City or they have to go to a big city and get a that style of tattoo from someone from a bigger city. Example is a girl from Wilkes-Barre won Ink Masters. I don't remember her name.
Oh, that Ryan Ashley.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
super talented, and she's right outside School County. Like she's a 45-minute drive from Pottsville. You know what I mean? So there is amazing talent here, and
Yeah, I mean the other thing too is like everybody who's here like could work in other places.
Yeah.
but we actually choose to be here. You know, like.
I would
there's
hate
a
to live in a big city.
Yeah, there's a reason. Like I
scares
don't
me.
know. I don't want to sit in traffic for hours upon hours to go like.
You literally drove to your house here and back twice since I've been here. Like that would never happen in a big city. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I just know that stigma, like where people are like, oh, I can't get good art in this area, and that's
Yeah.
completely wrong. Even if you want art for your house, like there's so many talented people in this area. Like it's just one of the things with this podcast that I've been very fortunate with. I met really, really cool people when it comes to artists, when it comes to anything in general. Like for the most part, I've sat down and talked to people of all different things, like musicians. I had an artist on the show, that Haley Stokes, and Haley has like a very similar, not similar style, but like there was one time where I seen an art from her, and I was like, is that one of your Cures? And I went up and it wasn't. It was hers. I was like, oh, it's very similar. But she's not a tattoo artist. She's just a regular artist. She actually did the cartoon of me. Have you ever seen the little cartoon? Yeah, she did that. But like, there's so much cool stuff in this area. Like just today in general, when I came a little early and we took a walk, like there's a cool little shop like 2 spots over that has all local people who create all made it like
shout out.
Yeah, they have all local stuff, like people in Pine Grove who just put their products in there, and it's like stuff like that. I eat it up. Like we went to West Reading, and West Reading has a whole street full of like local small businesses, and that stuff is awesome, and that's the stuff that you should take pride in your community.
Well,
like,
you can still afford rent here. You know? Like that's the
and that's the thing. Like people complain, especially like downtown Pottsville. People complain about Pottsville, but Pottsville has so much potential to be that. But like,
as long as
you have 4 awesome coffee shops in that town, but you still want to drive to a Dunkin' Donuts and get your coffee in the morning. Like, go support
There's
that.
4 now.
Yeah,
Fill us in, please.
in Pottsville. Well, you got
We're
Pressed.
coffee men.
You have the bakery that does coffee.
the bakery.
Then you have Sage.
Yep.
And then there's another one that I'm trying to think.
Dude, we love Sage and Pressed. We've been to both.
Been to both of them. Yeah, both great places.
Yeah.
Just speaking for me and Tom, we're from Sacramento, and it's like a huge coffee town. There's a coffee shop on every corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
and
instead
you
of
spend a lot of time just sitting around, you know what I mean?
instead of doing that whole like I'm not saying Dunkin' Donuts is the devil, but if you have a local business in your town,
What's
go
the fourth
support
one
it.
besides the bakery.
What's that?
You said there was 4 coffee shops.
I forget the 4th one, but there is another one in town. They had like Steve was telling me about it, but they do have like
I can't believe this is happening to me right now.
Like an Aerosmith coffee. They have like an Aerosmith coffee. I don't even know if it's still even open, to be honest.
Like the band?
Yeah, it's like rock and roll themed. I have to find out what it is. I'll let you know though. But I like Sage a lot, but every time I'm never there when they're open. Because by the time I get out of work, they're already closed. But I'm not a coffee drinker, but I like tea. They have really good tea there.
Spot of tea for
I
you.
like a little tea, a little peach tea.
Oh, peach tea.
Yeah, I like flavors. I can't.
What are you, from Georgia?
Yeah, I could just anything peach. I'm like peach being your rings, candy, peach. I'm just a peach guy. But thank you guys so much for letting me hang out and set up. We could definitely come back and do a Bangin' Beers.
Oh man, dude, that'd be
Amber's
awesome.
still over
That'd be
there.
so much fun. Do we bring the beers, or how does that work?
What's that?
Do we just all bring beers?
If you all want to bring a beer, we could do it that way. But we can bring beers as well.
Okay, cool.
Can
I
you
would
bring
just have to tell.
non-beer? Like, can we bring blackberry brandy?
Oh yeah, we throw a little blackberry brandy in there.
If you want me to take my shirt off.
Brandy.
A little whiskey or boilo.
Boilo could work. I try to stay away from spirits because
Spirits.
Yeah, because I time travel on whiskey.
Yeah. Well, blackberry brandy is kind of it's a regional thing, right?
Yeah.
I think that's
They have it
the
everywhere,
spirit.
but like I never noticed anyone drinking it until I like moved here. Like you'd be at a bar,
That's
and
a-
people like line up some blackberry brandy shots.
That's a
And I was
popular.
I was like, tell
drink.
me more about this blackberry brandy, you know. And I had some, and now I'm like a big fan. You know what I mean?
blackberry
I
brandy
haven't.
boys.
I have
And
not
we
tried
also
it.
There is a story.
and we
behind-
have a gang that's based around drinking blackberry brandy called
So
the
y-
Blackberry Brandy Boys.
So you got into blackberry coming around here?
Well, I've always liked liqueurs. Like, for instance, I was in a band and we toured Europe. And, like, in Europe, like, each country has... Their shit is, like, more liqueurs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So the reason I
Jeez.
you all right? You good?
Scrimps! Scrimps!
Did you just break our lamp?
Oh no, we're limited on lamps.
We are.
Dude, this
I-
is not Lamps
what's
Unlimited.
funny is that,
We
I
are
think that's
limited.
actually Chris's lamp that we broke and taped together.
Is it?
No, not this one. That's
Turn it on. Does it
Oh,
work?
Chris, this might be a little.
Right.
Yeah, okay, we're sure.
You're good?
We're good.
Scrimps, are you in the Blackberry Brandy Boy gang? Love it. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know about the blackberry brandy thing until I
I'm
met
perfectly willing to let you
Fulton
be
and
involved,
Dave.
Amber, but like you don't always understand the rules. You have
First
to
of all, it's
accept,
boys.
You have to accept a blackberry brandy when offered to you, and sometimes you're like, "Oh, I'm too sick" or whatever.
Okay, first off, I will still take the shot, but I sip it.
Okay, fair enough.
No rules
Fair enough.
against that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, ha, motherfucker.
So-
The women's
Whoa.
auxiliary gang is the blackberry.
Did you just try to say auxiliary?
It's not pronounced like you're saying it.
Are you sure?
It's not auxiliary.
Are you
It's
sure?
auxiliary.
Oh, just like major
Auxiliary.
and treasure.
Is it like a consigliere?
Consigliere.
So the blackberry.
Anyway, the
Flies
blackberry.
Blackberry.
Blackberry
Hey, Blackberry.
brandy Betty's.
Still quad B.
There you go.
Betty's. But I wasn't into the blackberry until I met this group, like the group here. Not so much you guys, I'm sorry, but like our outside family group, like the music scene in our area. And that was a friend of ours' favorite shot, Jay. No longer with us, but so anytime I have the shot, that's where I think of. I'm like, this is for, and that's kind of been like the passing on and like the thing. So if we're out somewhere, we're like, hey, let's do a shot, and then we order blackberry. It's not always talked about, but it's always in memory or it's something we think of. So it's a kind of like a fallen soldier, a family, like a outside family.
I should have brought some for you.
Yeah. So
We could have initiated you into the gang tonight.
yeah.
Hey, we'll have another
We'll
one.
do another one. But so
Banging
when
blackberries
I have
podcast.
blackberry, that's what I think of when I do the blackberry shot. It's for Jay Bird. But yeah, so that's I don't know. That's why I always do it. It's kind of like a remembrance. Like, hey man, this is for you, buddy. But yeah, that'll wrap it up for the first. We'll just say the first. 'Cause I don't.
Cool.
This could definitely happen again.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah.
So if you have cool stuff you want to talk about, or even just do like a tattoo podcast shop, we can keep coming back, and it could be like a regular thing. We can do that.
Yeah.
This is fun, man. I liked it.
Absolutely, man. I'm
Yeah.
totally down.
How would you
do-
rate this one? Much better than normal?
This is
Top tier podcast.
editing's gonna be tough because I'm gonna have to find all those
Oh,
spikes.
you know what? Maybe you should bleep out Jerry in case that lady does.
Well,
yeah.
unfortunately,
Yeah, when you were saying that, I was like,
Ooh, she's gonna be like, wait a minute, that's me. I thought about it and I was like, no,
Gotta go.
I think she has Facebook, so she might.
But here's the thing, like. You know, going into a tattoo shop, you know the unwritten rule that you do not get someone's name on you. So that's technically not on you for saying the name, because
but-
that's
well, I didn't say her name. I said his name.
Yeah.
Still,
that
Yeah,
that
but
might be
that's-
like a rule to some people, but we do names like fucking every day.
yeah.
yeah, but that's just
Or sometimes they know and they don't care. They just do
yeah.
it.
You're like, listen, you
I'll just
know,
add a little asterisk here. I will tattoo all the names.
So if you
Bring
just
them
if you
on.
could just beep out his name.
I'll beep out the
I
names.
got my wife's name on me, tattooed on me before we were married.
I don't have a name, but I have
Well,
a.
you're married.
I'm like kind of hood or whatever. So
Yeah. I don't have a name on me, but I have a tattoo for my wife. That's my Winnie the Pooh. And she actually just got the tattoo for me today. Was the bats on her in the back of her neck.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's adorable.
She's like, kind of.
Batman.
Never mind, she's already backing out. She said that's not for me.
That's not for you.
For Batman.
Yeah, it's for me. I always enjoyed Winnie the Pooh as well. So it's one of those things where we were like, if she ever like, fuck
What's
you, I'm
your
leaving.
favorite Batman?
My favorite, like movie wise,
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Really?
Yeah, only be all right. So here's my
Driving her nuts.
here's my reason.
You should never talk
we
about
just-
movies because Heidi's just gonna come over here. And
Here's my
talk.
reason.
I've never heard anybody
What's
ever
happening
say that.
right
I like
What's happening right now?
I like Michael Keaton. I like Michael Keaton. But if I feel like I can fight Michael Keaton, like I feel like I could beat Michael Keaton up.
Dude, Mr. Mom, come on.
Yeah, I could beat him up.
The three best Batmans were like the Dark Knight trilogy. Come on.
I would fight Christian Bale in the street right now.
A lot of
Oh
beers?
my God.
A lot of beers you got.
I feel like Christian Bale's not tough. I would
Okay,
fight
thank
him.
you.
We'll take him home.
So yeah, so I think Ben Affleck was the coolest looking Batman when it came to a comic book. Like I feel like he looked strong, he looked tough, and I thought he was the coolest looking Batman.
Affleck.
This
Affleck.
podcast is over.
Yes,
It's
it is
over.
officially.
You're canceled.
It's canceled. But Michael
I'm gonna tell
Keaton,
people you did a Louis
Michael
CK.
Keaton's movies are my favorite.
Jerked off the whole time. We
You
were
know,
there.
and then when he was done, he just whipped it out.
told us he
He's
was
like,
doing it, but he did it
Guys,
anyway."
you can leave if you like.
No tablecloth on the next installment of
We're gonna take a black
Who
light
is
to
the
it.
Worst Batman podcast.
But yeah, it was fun. Thank you guys so much, and
Thank you, man.
We'll see you
Yeah,
guys
I
soon.
appreciate
Check
it,
out
man.
all the links below, and come get tattooed by these awesome people.
Abaddon
Tats-
Tattoo, Pine Grove, Pennsylvania.
Check out their Instagrams and stuff. It's fun stuff. See you guys.
Bye.
Living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time. Just living my life, just living my life, just living my life. It's my time.
Athletic at the peak of my life. Slipped a couple times, I was speeding on ice. Never took a risk, then you cheating your life. You never took a risk, then you cheating your life. It's a hole in my heart, probably never be filled. And part of me thinks it'll never be healed. I lost some of my family to the dope. Overflow my mind with positive vibes, that's how I cope. They ask if I stop, I tell them no. Speak foul on my name, clean your mouth out with soap. I'm crying right now while I'm writing this shit. I'm dying inside just from fighting this shit. Amidst all the darkness, I see light in this bitch. Give me one small spark and I'm igniting this bitch.